Welcome to ESPN on ABC College Football, presented by Walmart. On a spectacular South Carolina Saturday afternoon, it's the Wolfpack of NC State taking on the third-ranked team in the country in Clemson. It is homecoming in Death Valley, and we should have the makings of a special game. These two schools combined for 97 points 1 year ago. With Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. The explosiveness is back for Deshaun Watson and Clemson. 42 against Louisville a couple of weeks ago, 56 at Boston College. They can score now at will.
Yeah, and it wasn't that way to start the year. You know, probably the player in college football with the most expectations coming into the season was Deshaun Watson. They didn't start well. They only scored 19 points against Auburn and then 30 against Troy. And I think the difference is decision making. This is a big fourth down in that Auburn game early. You see there's an inside slant and a second slant. Deshaun tries to force the ball inside, and the second slant's wide open. Now, fast forward a month later, same play, different side of the field. You see the inside slant is taken away. This time, Deshaun doesn't rush it. He waits, gets a big touchdown to Artavis Scott. You mentioned it. This offense has turned the corner. Now, the last two games, they're averaging close to half 100. And it's been Deshaun Watson decision-making. They're catching the football better. This offense is going to present all kinds of problems for NC State defensively.
Right, and that's really NC State's only chance today. Their biggest strength is that defense, especially up front, down to the field. Todd McShay.
Yeah, Steve, this is going to be the best defense that Clemson has faced since the opener against Auburn when they struggled. Now, you'll see all these statistics for NC State's defense. You look at them, they're 8th in the FBS, both in run defense and total defense. And the strength, as you mentioned, is up front. These guys play their tails off. So impressive on tape. Bradley Chubb, the defensive end, is one of a few really good pass rushers. 8.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks already on the season. But the challenge today is a huge one. You've got to get pressure with the front four. You can't over-blitz Deshaun Watson because he has too many weapons to beat you with. You also have to pressure with discipline, because if you get out of your lane, we all know Watson can kill you with his feet.
Speaking of playing their tails off, here come the Tigers celebrating 50 years of Howard's Rock this season. They rub the rock, run down the hill. Look out, Chad Smith. We're thinking about you. Don't want to stumble today. It's the opening kick with both teams in control of their destiny in the ACC. Next. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Is the ACC the best conference in college football? That has come into the discussion these last couple of days. Clemson has won the toss and deferred. The Wolfpack will receive. Clemson 6-0 at the halfway point of their season. And of course, NC State, these are much better conditions than they played in 1 week ago. Speaking of that, Ryan Finley said his biggest challenge a week ago in the rain against Notre Dame was just catching the snap. He'll have a little more to worry about today.
Well, certainly those conditions were hard to operate in, but I'm not so sure these conditions today might not be tougher, Steve. This is Death Valley, and he is going to have a hard time hearing, communicating. He's a very poised individual that transferred from Boise State, comes over to NC State with Elijah Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator. But this crowd will be a challenge, despite the fact it's a new kid.
And speaking of that, Dabo Swinney said, hey, we need the people to bring midnight energy to this 12 noon crowd and kick time. So here we go. The Pack opening up 1st and 10. Matt Days is the setback. And they'll flip it to Days. And on 1st down, he'll stumble forward for 3 yards on the play. Kendall Joseph makes the first tackle of the game.
Yeah, Matt Days has to be a factor for NC State offensively early to get this crowd out of the game. Jalen Samuels, he can play any position on the offensive side. They've got to get him the football. And then Christian Wilkins, the athletic defensive end for Clemson, as well as Kendall Joseph, who's taken over for B.J. Goodson at the Mike linebacker spot.
Finley out of the gun, has some time, throwing to his right, completing to Nyheim Hines, and Hines well into Tiger territory before he's finally pushed out by Van Smith. So the big gain there at 39.
That's a great design there. Getting your wide receiver matched up on Ben Boulware. He's going to come out of the backfield and cut underneath. Great design by NC State and Elijah Drinkwitz. That's the kind of matchup that you got to get in man-to-man coverage. Boulware is a liability in man coverage.
They go empty. Finley had some trouble with that snap, by the way. And they're able to complete.
Smart game plan to begin. You run the football, try to establish that, but short passes, get the ball out of Finley's hands and get him into a rhythm. One thing, Brian, you and I both saw, he's very poised in the pocket, but you want to make sure that he's poised early in this game in front of this huge, loud crowd.
So far, so good, Todd.
2nd and 6 now. And we get whistles. See if there's some motion.
False start. Number 53, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Tyler Jones, the left tackle.
You know, Steve, you come on the road against the number 3 team in the country, and you've got to keep your poise. That's the thing we talked about with Dave Doran. Handle the environment early. The first 30 minutes of this game, Clemson comes in outscoring their opponent 69-6 in the first quarter, and then Dave Doran thinks he's got to win. Not just get a tie, he's got to win special teams today to pull the upset.
And Doran was the one who pointed that out to us. The 69-6 statistic in the first quarter.
You never know. You never know, especially with a team that, they've had some big wins. They beat Notre Dame last week. They had a letdown against East Carolina. Should have won that game, but lost. Now you come on the road. What do you know about your team? What do you know about your quarterback? So far, they've seemed to handle this noise easily.
We're going to find out something right here on 3rd down and 5. 3 receivers in a bunch at the top. Now they send in motion Jalen Samuels. And here's Finley throwing and completing to Stephon Lewis. He's just shy of the marker. Marcus Edmond made the stop. Oh, they're going to move the sticks,
They're going to give him a first down. Great effort here from Lewis. Good read by Finley. You don't always have to throw the ball beyond the first down yardage to get the first down. Trust your big wide receiver at 220 pounds, and he gets you a fresh set.
Finley so far throwing 4 for 4 with 53 yards. Had the big 39-yard game.
False start. 54 offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Referee is Jeff Flanagan. That's on Will Richardson. So now both tackles have been flagged so far.
The first time that we have seen NC State and the noise begin to affect them. And give credit to this crowd. On a first down, normally they're always loud on 3rd down, but right after a 3rd down to come back and be loud on a 1st down affected Will Richardson there.
Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Clemson, said it's actually easier for him to communicate on the road with his defense.
Of course, yeah.
He said at Boston College, I can tell you everything. But here, because their own crowd is so loud, it's hard for them to communicate on defense. Good defense there. Van Smith came up to knock the pass away.
Yeah, Van Smith, he jumps out on tape when I watch. He's replacing Jaron Kearse, the great safety that's gone on to the NFL. And coaches love Van Smith, say he's ultra competitive, smart. Don't have to give him 2 looks at something. He'll correct his own mistakes. You see, 2nd leading tackler on this team.
2nd and 15. You'd think the penalty flags would catch up to the pack. So far, so good now. And another flag. Couple more.
There's a lot of stemming, Steve, by Clemson up front.
False start. Offense number 54, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Will Richardson again. 3rd false start. This is Death Valley at its finest, too.
And this is a hallmark of Brent Venables. Watch the defensive line. They're constantly stemming up front. And even these little movements affect offensive linemen. They've got one call made up front, then you move half 6 feet, 6 inches, and these guys have to change all their calls. So it's very difficult to communicate, and Brent Venables is making it more difficult by stemming his defensive line.
2nd and 20. Stemming. I like it. Off the play fake. Philly has time to throw. And too high for his intended target, Lewis. Todd?
Guys, this is the loudest of the, 6 games we've done together this year. The loudest in any period of any of those games. And but like you said, Brian, it's a credit to this crowd. It's a noon kickoff. We've been to some noon kickoffs before. Late, straggling crowd. Not the case here. They came and they're making an impact early on.
Well, there you see. The seniors for Clemson have lost just one home game. We got sophomores and juniors who have never lost here at home.
So Ryan Finley needs to be smart with the football. Can't get 3rd and 15. At least get 6 or 7 and attempt a field goal.
And that's what they're doing. They'll put it on the ground. Here's Days. And he'll come up out to the 26. Kendall Joseph made the stop.
That's a smart call there, Dave Dorn, Eli Drinkwitz. You know, take a negative play, turnover out of the hand of the quarterback, and it's a success on the opening drive in this environment to come down here and potentially get a field goal.
Here's Kyle Bambard. His only miss on the season was in the hurricane. Does that even count?
No.
31 yards he missed from a week ago. Here's from 43 yards away to give the Wolfpack the lead. Won't happen. Bangs it off the outright. The upright and out. And that will keep the game scoreless. 3 false start penalties. A killer for NC State. So Deshaun Watson. This is our first look at him today. First possession for the Tigers when we come back. Back at Clemson, the offense takes the field for the first time today. Don't go anywhere. Don't blink.
Buckle up.
Bad time to hit the fridge right now when the Clemson offense is on the field. And on first down, Deshaun Watson hands it off to Wayne Gallman. And of course, what don't you know about Deshaun Watson? Really, the only thing we don't know that we found out is he's not a great dancer. Other than that, he's pretty great at everything else.
You know, we meet a lot of players going around traveling, doing college football games. Very few are as impressive as number 4 for Clemson. Just a great young man, great attitude, cares a lot about his team.
Watson, quick throw for Ray McLeod. Short gain, bring up 3rd and short. Bradley Chubb made the stop. You'll want to get used to that. Chubb, one of the leaders on that NC State defense.
I tell you what, we'll talk a lot about Clemson's offense, but this NC State defense, they are fast, physical. They are not afraid to go toe-to-toe with Clemson today. They already had 2 hard hits on the opening drive.
Looked like a generous spot there. Gave him the first down. Quick throw out to the right. That's big, rangy Mike Williams. His first reception of the game.
Yeah, we're going to call Mike Williams quite a bit. He's come on as of late. See his name there, as well as Wayne Gallman. You know, he hasn't had as many touches early in the season as a year ago, but he is explosive. Bradley Chubb is their main stud up front on that defensive line, and Jack Tocho, he's going to have his hands full with Williams.
2nd and 4. Watson's going to try to keep it and slides down. Has the first down. He's out to midfield. Jared Fernandez put the pop on Watson. That's obviously something Clemson wants to avoid.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to get 12 to 15 carries probably in this game, and you got to take the shots when you have them.
Clemson going fast here.
Yeah, they're going to continue to push the pace. Wayne Gallman, we were talking with him yesterday, and he's a guy that feeds off of touching the football. And defenses, at least early in this season, have really tried to take away the running game for Clemson. They understand that that's kind of how it predicates everything else. They got 7 in the box. They've had to throw the ball more.
2nd and 2. Quick screen. Out to Artavis Gallman. And Gallman has the first down. Football's out. And the Wolfpack say they have it, and they do. Turnover. Arius Moore recovering the fumble.
Man, that was a tough hit on Wayne Gallman.
He's still down.
Yeah, he's still down. He cut back inside, and the safety came over, and scary hit there. I think that's Dravis Wright. Hopefully he's okay, but that ball certainly recovered by NC State. You know, we saw the first 2 plays. The safeties came up hard. Josh Jones, Sean Boone came up hard on those first 2 plays, and this time Dravius Wright. You just get the sense that the attitude of this NC State defense coming in was, we've heard enough of the talk about Clemson offensively. We're going to make a statement.
Dravius Wright, the most experienced in terms of starts for NC State, makes the hit on that defensive play, and Gallman is still feeling the effects. Gallman, the redshirt junior from Loganville, Georgia.
Such a good player, such a dynamic player, so explosive. Anytime he touches the football, he's a threat to go the distance, and good to see him get up and walk off the field.
And he's not a fumbler either, so you know he took a vicious hit, because coming into this year he had a .6 fumble percentage, which is outstanding. Anything better than 1% is really good for a running back. And he's always been able to protect the football, and clearly that hit jarred him.
They'll get loud again. See if we get an update on Gallman for you.
Opportunity here for NC State. You went down the field with some creative play calling on the first drive, missed the field goal, got to get some points.
And Finley will hand off to Days for the short game.
You know, we talk so much about how good Clemson is on offense, but I would argue it's been this defense this year. The losses of Shaq Lawson, Kevin Dodd, B.J. Goodson. You know, they lost 3 out of 4 secondary players, Steve, and everybody's thinking, how could this defense possibly be as good as it was a year ago? Well, in fact, I believe that it is. They're playing better team defense under Brent Venables.
Dabo said the same thing at camp. People thought he was crazy. They're going to throw it here. And wide open, they have the man. Able to complete to Samuels down the sideline.
They have nothing to lose, Steve. Why not? They throw a little lateral out to the slot man, and Jalen Samuels, he's the one they want to get the football to. In any case scenario, makes them pay.
Ben Grayson, the wide receiver, threw the pass. It's a 38-yard gain to my man J-Sam, or Jalen Samuels. I call him J-Sam. So trickeration, and they're throwing again to Samuels. That time, Finley, the quarterback, threw the ball.
Let's take a look quickly. They're going to throw the ball back here, and Sam is just going to come down. You got to come up and respect the bubble screen. Nice throw there. If that ball was put out farther, it would have been a touchdown, Steve.
2nd down and 7. Give it to Days. Try the right side. Has a crease inside the 20-yard line.
They block it on the edge. Cole Cook, the tight end. Take a look at him, number 48 outside. Then they wrap. All you need to give is one cut to Matt Days, and he's going to make you pay. Had a great game against Clemson a year ago. Make no mistake, the Brent Venables, this defense, they respect Matt Days. But now, because they're throwing the ball a little bit, it's opening up some seams for him to run.
Gain of 13 on that last play. 2 tight ends now in for NC State. Both Clark Ayers and Cole Cook.
4 on the play clock.
And Samuels in motion will hand it off to him. And there is a flag as he steps out at about the 12-yard line. We'll check the penalty marker.
Yeah, anytime you run that sweep outside and you got a tight end trying to block a defensive lineman, it's in the area holding. It's almost impossible.
Offense number 41, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yeah, that's and I don't blame Clark Ayers. That's just tough to do. It's almost, we used to check out of that play when you knew that you had a tight end blocking a defensive end. It's just almost impossible to see right there. He's engaged with Farrell. And what's a killer is it takes you out of field goal range if you can't get back in. They had a penalty here last time, and they couldn't get back into position to convert on the field goal.
So 1st and 20. Finley rolling to his right and throwing. And too high for Braylon Cherry.
You know, there's been 2 great calls by NC State on offense. The first drive, the little matchup, that's Elijah Drinkwitz. You get a matchup on Ben Boulware with Cherry, and then on this drive, you get the big play to Jalen Samuels, but you have to come away with points. You don't know how many times you're going to get down here against a good Clemson defense, so Ryan Finley's got to be smart, execute, take what the defense gives you, maybe give yourself a chance on 3rd down, but don't take field goal out.
Quick screen again to Samuels. Down the sideline again. There's another flag on the play. Might have gotten first down yardage. We'll check the penalty marker again.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a chop block on the center and left guard, Selfo and Bradbury.
Personal foul. Chop block. Number 66 and number 65. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's a killer, too. He had a first down potentially, and here they are right here. Watch the center. Selfo will be engaged, and then Bradbury will come and chop. It's tough. You know, these offensive linemen, they're constantly working on their technique, and if there's any doubt whether a guy's engaged, you stay up. You know, because you bring that chop in, and you can easily get called for a penalty. And it's a costly penalty because it's 15 yards.
That's a bad sign. See Gallman headed off, looking to get some medical attention. Jalen McClendon has checked in at quarterback for NC State. This is not a surprise. McClendon wheeling away from pressure and throwing and missed the mark. Looking for a penalty flag, but was Lewis. Not that time.
Well,
5 penalties so far in the game.
It's not a surprise to see Jalen McClendon play. We knew he was going to play. I'm surprised about the situation that they decided to bring him in here in a long yardage situation. Why would you bring in the running quarterback and take out your passing quarterback? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then have him throw the ball.
And here's Finley back in. That's both very fair points. 3rd and 35. A head scratcher indeed. So you don't want to leave McClendon in for the 3rd and 35. 4 wide receivers, as you would expect. Here's Finley throwing. Nearly intercepted. Jadar Johnson had the coverage there, and you can see he wanted the pit for sure. And they're way out of field goal range and off to punt the football on 4th and 35.
That play had no chance. You can't throw a fade like this into a 2-deep defense. You know, that safety's got no other responsibility other than to play that route. And I'm surprised. If it were me, I'm going to throw something short, maybe get a little yards after the catch, get to the 30-yard line, and at least attempt a field goal.
Here's one of the other Wolfpack strengths, their punter, A.J. Cole. Has had just 1 punt returned all season. And Ray McLeod, the call for the fair catch. He still has just 1 punt returned for the season. 29-yard.
College football presented by Walmart. This Halloween, save on candy, costumes, and more at Walmart. And in part by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand.
Homecoming here at Clemson. They had the Tiger-Rama pep rally. So the homecoming queen Meredith Ellis, tight end Jordan Leggett, along with their teammates, performing the hula dance. Grease, I thought you were supposed to schedule the cupcake easy opponent for homecoming.
These things are
NC State.
These things are 3 or 4 years out. You know,
Right.
NC State's gotten better under Dave Doran.
Come on, what directional school did you guys play for homecoming every year?
I'm not going to say.
East, west, north, south. You get the idea. Adam Choice is in there at running back, replacing Wayne Gallman, who was injured earlier in the game. We'll revisit that. And that is Choice, the ball carrier, redshirt sophomore from Thomasville, Georgia.
Yeah, you go back and take a look at this hit by Dravius Wright. Some people might say, well, is this targeting? First of all, you don't have a defenseless player, and he's not targeting him and not hitting him with the crown of his helmet. You can't hit somebody with the crown of his helmet anywhere on his body. That's a foul. That's just a good, hard football tackle there, kind of like a running back coming through the line and a linebacker hitting.
Watson will throw this one, and complete. Able to hit Leggett, the tight end who we just spoke of. Finished with the hula dance, and he's catching passes for Deshaun Watson. First down, gain of 11.
Well, now a big question is, Adam Choice and these backup running backs might see a little bit of the true freshman Tavian Feaster, but Adam Choice, redshirted last year, had a knee injury. in the BC game in 2014, so big opportunity for him.
Artavis Scott on the receiving end, and he is gang tackled out at the 30. Led by Darian Roseborough. Making the stop. Choice came in with just 20 carries on the season for 64 yards. Had 5 carries for 12 yards up at Chestnut Hill a week ago. A week and then some. It's on Friday night. Don't think that wasn't lost on NC State. The extra day of preparation, right, for this one. Sure, thanks. Watson throwing. Back shoulder. Unable to complete. Mike Stevens had the coverage on Mike Williams. The crowd wanting a flag there.
Mike Williams might be one of the best receivers in college football at this back shoulder throw. Loves the ball back there, but Stevens in perfect position.
That was really good coverage too. You know, Clemson had 12 drops in the first 2 games. That's not a drop. That would have been a really hard play to make. The defender in perfect position.
Yeah, it looked like Todd hit the back of Stevens' helmet.
3rd and 7. Watson has some green and able to dive forward for the first down. Can we revisit the back shoulder throw? We talked to Tony Elliott, one of their co-offensive coordinators, and he said that's something they don't coach here, the back shoulder throw.
Yeah, it's just kind of a reaction between the wide receiver and the quarterback, and Deshaun Watson will read that corner, and if Williams has beat him, he'll loft that ball down the field, but if he's got good coverage, he'll throw it on the back shoulder.
Here's Watson going to air it out. Middle of the field, just too far for Deion Kane.
Pass intended for Deion Kane.
This is the explosive nature of this Clemson offense. Deshaun Watson a year ago had a few of these where he would overthrow his wide receivers. This year, he's been short on a lot of throws. Looks like he made another adjustment and just misses them.
Yeah, they don't throw a lot of intermediate routes between the 10 and 20, 25. Most of their throws are short, and then, like you said, take a shot down the field. He's been inconsistent with those deep balls.
Fake the run. Watson will keep it himself and try to turn the corner, and does. There is no number of right touches when it comes to Watson carrying the football. Clemson said they don't bring that number into the game plan. It's whatever it takes. And the Clemson staff, they're mighty concerned with the Wolfpack. They said this is one of those all-hands-on-deck game, whatever it takes. And that means however many times Watson has to run the football, he will. 3rd and 1.
So Dabo respects this defensive front, in particular for NC State. It'll be interesting. Dave Huxtable, their defensive coordinator, how is he going to attack this Clemson offense without Wayne Gallman? Will he play a little bit more safe on the back end, knowing that it's not quite as explosive in the running game?
Again, they fake the handoff and the throw. Incomplete. Looking for Mike Williams. That time the penalty marker does come. Mike Stevens on Mike Williams.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. Penalty is an automatic first down.
6th penalty against NC State already.
It's killing him. It's killing him. You know, Mike Stevens was in good position here, but this ball's not going to be complete. It's a poor throw from Deshaun Watson. It's behind him. Stevens didn't need to grab Williams. No way that ball would have been complete. It's a break for Clemson.
Choice remains in there. And they'll hand it off. Give it to him for his 2nd carry of the game. He bangs forward for 3 or 4 on the play. More on the stop for the Pack.
No, I think people underestimate the importance of running the football in this Clemson offense, whether it's Ben Gallman or one of these other backs. That's where this offense starts. They've got to get some production.
Watson rolling to his right, and he'll pass, able to hit McLeod. Short of the first down marker, and the late hit. Another flag. Is that a horse collar? Either way, it's going to be a 7th penalty.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 38, number 35, defense. Penalties half distance to the goal, first down.
That's Contavious Street, the defensive end. Looked like he was still in bounds, and he just kind of pushed him out. Let's take a look. He steps out of bounds, so they blow the whistle, and that last push right there was what got him in trouble. Penalties are just killing him.
C.J. Fuller, the ball carrier. For Fuller, just his 8th carry of the season, and it sounds like it'll be running back by committee maybe the rest of the way for Gallman.
Yeah, normally when you lose a running back like that, and Dabo Swinney knows this, you've got 2 or 3 guys behind him, and you'll give them each a little bit of an opportunity, a little bit of a taste, and then somebody who gets in a rhythm, then you'll stick with the hot hand.
2nd down and 6. Watson going to carry it and just get back to the line of scrimmage there. Bradley Chubb, the stop, brings up a 3rd down. You mentioned Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator for North Carolina State. Even though his view doesn't look great there, it's much better than it was a week ago. He said in that driving rainstorm, up from the press box, when the ball was in the air, he could not see it. He could not find the football in the air all week. Last week during that rainstorm.
Said he needed the young GA's eyes to see the ball.
Somebody else described it as playing in a 3-hour car wash. Think about that. Watson looking back of the end zone for Leggett. Too high, too strong.
Pass intended for
Give some credit to Dave Huxtable and this defense. You know, they had some penalties on this drive, extended 2 3rd downs, but they get the stop they need on 3rd down inside the 10-yard line and make the field goal attempt.
Greg Hugel will come out. 7 of 9 on the season. He has had 1 blocked. This would be a 25-yard field goal attempt for Hugel. And splits the uprights with a $1:17 to play here in the first quarter. Got our first score. It's a Tigers field goal. Homecoming in Death Valley. Tonight on ABC's Saturday Night Football, Heisman hopeful J.T. Barrett and number 2 Ohio State face a tough test against 8th-ranked Wisconsin. Matchup of 2 Big Ten teams with playoff aspirations. Buckeyes, Badgers, Saturday Night Football, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So, Grease, when we went to camp with Wisconsin, did you foresee they would have this kind of season?
Wow. Well, you know, they were embroiled in that quarterback competition between Hornibrook and Bart Houston.
Boy Bart,
Their defense is carrying. They're certainly stout.
Update time. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Steve. Taco Bell studio update. Number 19, Oklahoma hosting Kansas State. Baker Mayfield to Joe Mixon with the hurdle. In for the 8-yard touchdown run. Sooners looking to go 3-0 in the Big 12. Good start. 14-0 over on ESPN. Steve, Brian, Todd, back to you.
Good stuff out of Oklahoma this season. Cassidy, thank you. Cassidy will provide updates. Keep you posted on everything happening around the nation in college football on this 3rd Saturday of October. Why am I so serious all the time?
I don't know. Either one of you, McShay, can you smile every now and then?
Greasy's the only one having a good time here. All right, 1st and 10 now for NC State. Trailing by a field goal. Penalties have crushed them to this point. And look at this. It's Finley, the ball carrier, up the middle. Don't expect a lot out of that kind of play from him.
I love this play. My favorite play is going to fake the pitch, and then it just becomes a quarterback power. And the defensive end, Wilkins, who's a great athlete, is in no man's land. You said it. Finley's not a great runner, but he needs 8 or 9 of those kinds of runs for NC State to stay on schedule offensively.
17-yard gain there. That'll help to soften up the defense. Finley's so accurate, the only ACC starter who has not thrown an interception this season. As flags fly.
All start. Number 54 offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's Will Richardson again.
And take a look. I think this stemming is affecting him. You see the tap by the right guard. Stemming is when this defensive line will move about 6 inches to a foot. It's affecting this offensive line. You saw there another false start. There's now 4 of them in the game. Will Richardson, 3 of them, as you said. It's a combination of the noise, the environment here, and the way that this defensive line affects the offensive line.
Richardson is a redshirt sophomore from Burlington, North Carolina, and he would appreciate it if we stopped saying his name. On 1st and 15 after the penalty marker. Bat in the air, Nyheim Hines has it for the reception, and very close to the 1st down marker.
Dabo Swinney would like to not see as much from Nyheim Hines. They recruited him to Clemson. He decided to go to NC State. In last year's game, he had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, and now he's made 2 huge plays in the first quarter on this offense.
So they get the penalty yardage back, and it's another first down. Handoff to Days. Maybe gain of 1 on the play, and that will do it. Ending quarter number 1. We expected more of a high-scoring affair. These two combined for 97 points 1 year ago. We've got 3 points so far on Clemson's side of the scoreboard after 1. We're going to pull back the curtain a little bit. A little backstage pass for you here at Memorial Stadium. Prior to every Clemson home game, facilities director, that's Gary Wade. He's responsible for unlocking the protective case that holds Howard's Rock. The case was installed 15 years ago to safeguard, unfortunately, against vandalism. And the system has been upgraded. It includes video cameras and alarms. Yeah, back in the day, they chipped off a large chunk of the block. Come on, we can't have that. That's a look at behind the scenes, part of our backstage pass weekend. The only kind of access you can get in college football from your friends at ESPN and ABC. Here's Finley throwing, and he's out of bounds. Kelvin Harmon was the intended target.
Trying to throw the ball on Cordray Tankersley, and just tight coverage. He had already stepped out. Venables there trying to catch the ball. He's in that green hat there. He reacts, he loves to get involved. At practice, he's the scout team quarterback on Thursday. He just loves to bring intensity to his team any opportunity he can get.
Still has to work on his throwing motion, though.
Sidearm delivery is pretty ugly.
3rd and 9. Good pocket moving with Finley, and the ball batted up in the air and intercepted. It's picked off. Kavon Wallace on the interception. The true freshman. With the pick and a 13-yard return. And that's the first interception thrown all season by Ryan Finley.
Yeah, not his fault there. Ryan Carter was the one that was in coverage initially. See if he gets number 31 right here. See if he gets a little contact before that ball arrives right there. That ball should have been caught by Lewis. Deflection, tough break for Finley. Some pressure on Finley as well here at the end. You throw an interception, you better keep your head on a swivel. And Wilkins, it's bad enough you throw an interception, and then you get, and those defensive linemen, they look you up right away. Not a penalty there.
Looking for the easy hit on the quarterback. Here's Watson. He'll take a hit as he throws, and it's dropped. Mike Williams was there, as was Josh Jones that time. Drops were a problem. Todd mentioned it early in the season. By Dabo's count, they had Williams dropping 3 touchdown passes. Imagine what his totals would be like.
Yeah, and part of that was a draw. I think that was great timing there by Josh Jones. I like the matchup of Josh Jones on Mike Williams because Jones goes 6'2", 215 pounds and can match up physically with him. Watson,
delayed handoff to C.J. Fuller, Todd.
Well, the thing with the wide receiver, Mike Williams, is he's so big and physical. He's used to not getting a lot of separation while running routes. He usually is able to get late separation by boxing out the defender and getting his body in the right spot and attacking with his hands. At that point, when the ball got there, he wasn't able to get his body in front and get his hands out in front, and that was the reason the defender was able to make the PBU.
Which is pass broken up. And that short pass is way short. Let's see if they even call it. They call it a completion. Yes, he caught the ball, but he's well short. It was Mike Williams. Todd, did I see on SportsCenter this morning you have Williams, #1 wide receiver, upcoming NFL draft?
I do. I mean, he doesn't have elite speed, but he's fast enough to get down the field. Great when the ball's in the air usually, and really has developed this year. That back shoulder fade, the ability to come back to the ball. I think he's got a chance to be a really good starter, maybe a #1 in the league. And this year's class isn't great at wide receiver. You've got Juju Smith-Schuster from USC is the other guy that's in contention right now.
Andy Teasdall is back to punt for the first time today. No pressure. They rushed like one. And Braylon Cherry called for the fair catch. Some stirring in the crowd. Maybe because Clemson's only leading 3-0. Take a look at today's Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
This is beautiful because I actually know the answer. No, I knew it before reading it on the card. You have no idea. Clemson has won 44 consecutive games against unranked opponents. Who was the last unranked team to beat them? I didn't know off the top of my head, but I read it in the notes.
Yeah, I read the notes too.
Oh, so you know?
You think I don't read the notes?
No, you don't read the notes. You look at an occasional piece of film, fast forward, rewind, stop action. Here's 1st and 10 now. And Matthew Days is the ball carrier. NC State's 3 possessions they've reached into Clemson territory each time and have nothing to show for it. 8 penalties.
Well, the difference is the penalties you mentioned. They get down there and then they go backwards, whether it's been a false start. It's going to really bug Dave Doran. They've played well. In fact, in a lot of ways, outplayed Clemson in the first half here. This drive's an opportunity, though. Clean some things up, get the communication up front. Stop jumping off sides.
Saw Will Richardson. He would appreciate it if we take the camera off him. And he can do his part by not false starting. That throw, dangerous throw, and it's caught and dropped. Well, a whole lot happened there off the hands of Nyheim Hines. Stephon Lewis should have brought it down, but couldn't hang on.
Ryan Carter got a great break. Should have made this play for a touchdown. He almost thought the ball was going to be thrown outside, and the ball was thrown so inaccurate that it went behind Carter. Maybe Finley saw him at the last minute and tried to pull the string on it, but either way, Finley dodged another bullet there.
3rd down and 9.
They're going to take the top off in this coverage. They're throwing everything short, and now they're jumping it.
Rushing 3, Finley throws, and it's ducked away. Good coverage there. Cordray Tankersley on the coverage. Brings up a 4th and 9.
You know, last year they had Mackenzie Alexander as their lockdown corner. Cordray Tankersley has become that for this Clemson defense. It's a simple in route, and there's no move there from Braylon Cherry. He did nothing to set up Tankersley and attack his leverage, so Tankersley makes an easy deflection.
First 3 and out for this Clemson defense. And A.J. Cole will punt it in the air. Ray McLeod is backward and drops the punt. Let's see if he recovered it or not.
Got a good bounce. Came right back to him.
McLeod able to recover the muff after the 47-yard punt.
Yeah, Ray McLeod, the coaches have said, you know, last year he came in as a 5-star guy, a lot of talent, thought he could just show up and be one of the better players on this team. And realize that, you know what, you got to work hard. Dabo Swinney's done a nice job with him, getting him to a point where, you know, you respect the game, respect the preparation, and he's contributed on offense in a lot of ways, but that time just lost focus.
That's consecutive weeks for muffed punts by McLeod. He wasn't so fortunate a week ago. Boston College was able to recover. That's Adam Choice, the ball carrier. Sean Boone made the stop. Of course, the big difference, Fernandez down, is the blowout. 56-10 was the score a week ago at BC.
Steve, this is
Jared Fernandez.
Sorry, this has been a hard-hitting game. This NC State defense, we talked about them in the open. They run hard. They play hard. They are not afraid to hit you. Both safeties, Josh Jones and Boone, have come up and made hits. We saw Dravius Wright, the hit on Gallman, and Jared Fernandez now on the ground. But paint swapping going on out there. On the ground, and looks like his right arm gets caught underneath Eris Moore, his partner at the linebacking spot. We were talking with Dave Doran, Dave Huxtable yesterday. They say, you know, after you play us, you're going to feel it. You're going to know that you played a physical team, and so far they've held true to that standard.
Doran said that they're 1 year away. They're one year away from where they want to be in terms of senior leadership.
Which surprised me, you know, because they had 17 returning starters, and they've got a lot. Every single player, starter on this defense is either a junior or senior. But he said most of the times you have 15, 18 seniors that are your leaders and your best players. He said we only have 2 seniors that are our best players and best producers. I think that's what he's referring to.
There's Finley. Adam Choice is out. C.J. Fuller has checked back in for Clemson again, all in place of Wayne Gallman, who was injured early in the game. Watson able to complete. Able to hit for the Hunter Renfro for the game, and that is significant. Renfro was missed time with a hand injury, was hurt against Troy, able to come back and make the catch.
He's got that right hand heavily taped, a little cast on it, probably a soft cast for a receiver. Very difficult to play with a hand injury. Catching the ball, obviously, but then also securing that ball, because that defense is going to come and attack that hand and try to rip that ball out. But Renfro, a big piece of this offense.
There's 3rd and 2. Fuller driving the legs. Niles Clark pushing him back, said, I don't think so.
Yeah, there's no push up front for Clemson. That was Monty Nelson in there, Justin Jones. These defensive tackles for NC State, all of them are over 300 pounds, and all of them are difficult to move. See it, Andreas Bryant in there. Short yardage situations are going to be difficult for Dabo Swinney. And I think right now he's looking at 4th and 1, and he's saying, you know what, I don't think I can move those guys. I'm going to punt it.
Clemson has gone 4th down 8 times this season, 3 for the previous 7. This would be the 8th.
This is a good decision, right? I mean, you had a 3rd and 1. You know, what he's saying to his offensive line, look, you had your chance on 3rd and 1. I'm not going to make the same mistake again on 4th and 1.
You sure he's made the decision already, right? They took a timeout there.
We'll see.
Come on back for 4th and 1.
College football presented by Walmart. Brought to you by Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years. And Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
Second straight 3-and-out possession for Clemson. Andy Teasdale is set to punt it away. Remember, he can throw. We saw him throw a 31-yard touchdown pass off the fake. Able to work it out this time. Speaking of fakes. And able to get it to Christian Wilkins.
Direct snap, yeah, direct snap. He had that big fake punt against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. He's right here. The ball's going to come right to him. Great design here. You know, you call that timeout and you have a chance to talk about it on the sideline. Give the big fella an opportunity. He's such a good athlete. He can run 315 pounds. Gets a big conversion.
Well, maybe that's the spark that'll get the Clemson offense going. After the 2 consecutive, what we thought was a 3-and-out. That drive will continue. Watson's pass was low, but dropped by Artavis Scott. Todd.
It's like a reverse mind trick that Dabo just played. I mean, you call a timeout and everyone thinks, they're not going to go for it now. You wouldn't call a timeout. They try to just kind of casually do it and try to sneak it in. I can't remember seeing the team call a timeout and then come back out in a short yardage situation like that and run the fake.
You had to get the big, he's a defensive guy. They need to talk to him on the sideline.
Dabo trying to get his offense going with a Deshaun Watson run. Sean Boone made the stop.
I tell you what, it goes to show you how much respect Dabo Swinney has for this NC State team. They have struggled to move the ball on this defense, and he realizes, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to have to get inside their red zone area and score some points. Great call on the fake punt.
And that Teasdale throw that we mentioned in the Orange Bowl for the touchdown was to Wilkins on the fake punt. So they've gotten together before. 3rd and 6. Watching some pressure in his face. Got it off to Mike Williams with plenty of running room. Picks up a block. And then he's finally bumped out of bounds by Jack Tocho. There's the big play out of the Clemson offense for 21.
There's a smart play by Deshaun Watson. Realizes he's got man coverage. They got a bunch set, and they get a little bit of a natural rub for Mike Williams. And he's so good with the ball in his hands after he gets a first down. I like that too, because he's had a couple of situations here where he's had the ball in his hands and hasn't been able to come down with it, get it back in rhythm.
Watson throwing across the middle, able to complete again to Williams. showing some good strength there. The crowd roars.
Going up against Jack Tocho, the senior captain for NC State. Tocho's only 6 feet, 200 pounds. That's actually pretty big for a corner, but Mike Williams just bodies him like a basketball player and able to bring that ball down.
16 more yards there. It's 1st and goal now. Watson looking to throw for it. Back shoulder for Williams. And Mike Stevens had the coverage, and there's no flag coming that time.
But you have to know in this situation down here, the first play that they're going to call is a back shoulder fade. They've got him now back-to-back catches. They wanted to seal it off with a back shoulder, and Stevens did a nice job of looking back for the football, knocking it down.
2nd and goal. See what Tocho's staring at. Right Williams. 2 tight ends. And Watson will hand it off to C.J. Fuller. Markham short of the goal line.
Boy, it looked like he might have got across that goal line. Clemson's not going to take time to review that.
3rd and goal. Oh, nearly fumbled the snap. Watson on the 2nd effort. And he won't get there either.
Wow. Not only that, but Dave Doran was trying to call a timeout before that play was called. He's real happy he didn't get the timeout. Now he's going to take a timeout on the sideline.
Watson juggled the snap there.
That's interesting, you know, because it looked like on the previous play they might have gotten in the end zone. Why would you give it a little bit of time so they could look at all these potential scoring plays and review? But they went fast and didn't get a good play call.
And on 4th and goal there, they had Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence, a couple of the big boys up front on defense playing offense.
Yep, they'll do that from time to time in goal line situations. Take a look at that snap again. Took his eye off of it for a second. Looked like he wanted to give the ball to Fuller, and because he juggled the snap, he kept it himself.
Cassidy, take it away.
Thanks, Steve. Texas Tech is out here practicing Hail Marys during a game on 3rd and 29. Patrick Mahomes throws it up, and Jonathan Giles comes down with a 44-yard touchdown, but West Virginia with a 10-7 lead in the second. Over on ESPN, not only did Joe Mixon run for a touchdown, he also thrown for one. A 26-yarder here. Sooners up 21-10 over on ESPN. Steve, Brian, Todd, back to you.
Cassidy.
It's an interesting play call here for Dabo Swinney. Earlier in this drive, he did get it on a 3rd and 1, go for the fake punt. Now back-to-back drive, or back-to-back plays, you haven't been able to punch it in inside the tackles. I wouldn't be surprised they had a little play action flat.
Remember the old days where when you're inside 3 inches, you just get under center and take the snap and quarterback sneak?
Not here. Shotgun.
He's going to run it. Watson won't get there. What a play by B.J. Hill. Talking about stuffing the hole. And Ford Howell as well.
It's just too much beef inside here. This defensive line and linebacking crew have come to play. They are not backing down. The linebackers, all these guys in here. Take a look at that push. This offensive line is just not coming off. And that's an easy stop for NC State.
Right into the strength of that Wolfpack defense. Nothing doing there.
Big goal line stand by the NC State Wolfpacks. Take a look from our progressive pylon cam. The 4th down play. Watch Fuller try to get a block, but he gets blown up by the linebacker, and there's nowhere for Deshaun Watson to go to get in the end zone. Huge stop by the Wolfpack.
Really, you're reading the sponsorships now, too?
Yeah, got your back.
You want to give us 1st and 10 here?
Is it sponsored?
From the couple-inch line, Reggie Gillespie is the ball carrier, trying to get some running room for this NC State offense. I mean, last year, we touched on it. This is going to be a fun afternoon. Last year in Raleigh, these two got together, had 5 lead changes. Now, Jacoby Brissett was a quarterback for NC State, but Clemson won 56-41 in a wild game on Halloween, and we're staring at 3-0 with 7.5 to play in the first half.
Defense, man. We're the defensive crew, you know? Get through Michigan, Wisconsin, now these two defenses.
The throw and complete to Jalen Samuels. He's short of the marker. Ryan Carter made sure of that.
That's a good throw there. Good, accurate throw. You know, one of the things that came off the tape when watching Ryan Finley, 70% completion percent. That is hard to do. I asked him last night, do you know how hard that is to do? I don't think he understands. That's quite an accomplishment. I didn't know if that was more impressive or the 0 interceptions, but he's been poised early in this game.
He said he was looking forward to this whole atmosphere. He's never played in anything like this before. Transferring out of Boise State. And I said, well, you know, what's going to be second on your list? He goes, oh no, Death Valley will be second. Carter Finley, that's the first experience. That's my best experience, playing home games for the Pack. Here's 3rd and 1. Fakes the handoff, finds Samuels. He's got the first down and a little more breathing room now for this Wolfpack offense to operate.
You see both of these offenses are respecting the defensive lines. 3rd and 1, they don't decide to run it inside. They get a little bit of play action, get it to their most dynamic playmaker, and they get a huge first down to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
What a nice weapon to have, too, with Samuels. You can line him up anywhere. He's the team's leading receiver and also can carry the ball very effectively.
Days now settles behind Finley.
Timeout. Clemson. 2nd. Charge timeout.
Clemson has his 1 timeout remaining. 6:23 left here in the half. Take a look at today's Aflac trivia question. Aflac. Exactly. Clemson has won 44 consecutive games against unranked opponents. Who was the last unranked team to beat them?
Wolfpack, right?
Look across the field. The NC State Wolfpack, November 19th, 2011. The Wolfpack upset the 7th-ranked Tigers 37-13. That game in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Mike Lennon was quarterback.
NC State trailing by just a field goal as they take over now. Incomplete. Stephon Lewis, one of the primary receivers, couldn't hook up, make the completion.
Yeah, you got to make that play for Stephon Lewis. Clemson's playing a little bit different defensively this game than they have all year. They're stemming to, we talked about stemming earlier, they're stemming that defensive line in front, but they're bringing Bullware to the end of the line of scrimmage, almost like an old 46 Bear defense, and they're playing man-to-man free safety in the middle of the field. In that defense, you got to throw the ball outside, and your receiver has to make a play. There's a missed opportunity.
Bullware made 12 tackles a week ago. Finley's going to keep it. He was much more successful the first time than on that time. Dexter Lawrence made the tackle.
I don't just think Clemson doesn't respect the NC State receivers. Simply, they trust their corners in coverage, and the corners have done nothing to lose that trust this afternoon.
That's a good point. Well, they want to take away Matt Days. That's pretty clear. And so far, they've done that. They've only got 6 rushes for 27 yards.
3rd and 7 now. Finley throwing and completing to Kelvin Harmon.
Great route by Kelvin Harmon. Tough man-to-man coverage on Tankersley. He's their best corner, number 25. Get his hands off you and slap him on the back. That's called a fade stop. And the ball's thrown on time for a first down.
It's Finley again. Throwing down the sideline. A lot of confidence looking for Kelvin Harmon.
It's a great catch by Harmon.
Inbounds?
Tankersley's all over him. He manages to stay in bounds.
Wow.
Great catch there.
Got both in. Only needed one. Got both in.
Starting to get Tankersley's head.
24 yards on that play. Finley's throwing that way again. And it's not going to work out to Harmon. You know what we haven't seen recently? Looks like whatever NC State, the problems, the penalties, and the false starts, they've got that in their rear view.
Yep.
They figured that out.
Went to the well one too many times there, throwing to Tankersley one more time, and Brent Venable says we came up with that one. He had a little conversation with his senior corner. But Elijah Drinkwood, I've been impressed with this approach. You know, outside of those false starts handling noise, they've been creative on offense. They don't have the points to show for it, They need to be a little bit better in the red zone.
2nd and 10. Across the middle, and Hines could not hang on. He turns around and looks for a flag. Ryan Carter might have gotten a hand in there too.
Hines has made some plays in this game, but that's one that he'd like to have back. You play tight man-to-man coverage. You can't be expecting flags. You got to be forceful, get your hands out, snatch that football. If you let it come into your body, the guys are going to get their hands on it. These wide receivers for NC State need to be more physical to the football.
That's a national epidemic. Every wide receiver turning around after every play looking for a penalty flag. College and pro, maybe high school too. Here's Finley. Dumps it down for Days out of the backfield. Has the first down and much more. Inside the 20. Finally brought down at the 15-yard line. 27 on the game.
Finley expected the blitz. He got the pressure. He didn't panic. Found a throwing lane to his halfback Days. Sometimes a nice little screen can be a killer against a blitz.
It's down in 10, and Finley will hand it off. Nothing there for Days. Stumbles forward for maybe 1. 4.5 to play here in the first half.
And Brett Venable, he's such an aggressive play caller. Loves to confuse quarterbacks. One of the best defensive coaches in all of college football. There's no question about it. He's got his match today. This offense comes in flying under the radar. This NC State team's all about defense, but they've got a quarterback that's not easy to rattle.
2nd and 9. Quick screen to Days. Wow, what a defensive play there. Ryan Carter came up to make the stop.
And Ryan Carter is first-year player, playing that nickel position. You see him attack the leverage right there. As soon as he saw that motion, he bumped outside the wide receiver so that he would have leverage on that block. Comes up and makes a stop.
Remember, this is a drive that started at their own 1-yard line for NC State. This is the 4th time in Clemson territory, and still, as of now, nothing to show for it. 3rd and 14. Is this safe or go for that first down?
Safe.
Finley playing it safe indeed, and there is a flag down. Lewis on the receiving end of that short pass. And that'll be penalty number 9 on NC State.
Wow. Each time they've gotten down here in the red zone, they've gone backwards.
Number 54 offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, in that situation, you might ask, well, you got the 3rd down conversion, now it's 4th down, but you definitely want to take that penalty if you're Dabo Swinney because you want to make it a more difficult field goal attempt.
Will Richardson getting flagged again. For what it's worth, Clemson has not been penalized yet today. No penalties on Clemson. Third and 24. They were safe before. Here's Finley trying to get him in field goal range. And that pass is bobbled but caught. Well shy of the first down marker, but certainly in range. It is Lewis on the receiving end. He juggled it, was able to pull it down.
That's a great move by Ryan Finley. That's a 3-point decision right there. You take a sack in that situation, and it's very difficult for you to convert on a 49, 50-yard field goal. But he makes it miss, buys a little time, and makes an easier field goal attempt.
It also helps to kill a little bit more of the clock, although we saw Deshaun Watson run the 2-minute drill against Louisville in the end of the first half in 31 seconds, about 80 yards.
Kyle Bambard missed from 43 earlier. This is from 29. It is up, and it is good. Whoa, just like that. 2 minutes to play in the half. We're tied at 3s. Celebrating its 12th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds and has contributed some more today, as that's all we have, a pair of field goals to this point. Deshaun Watson in that explosive offense we spoke of. Manufactured just a field goal today so far. They get set to take over, and they'll do so at the 25. You know, there's 2 minutes and 3 seconds left here in the first half.
Yeah, that's a lot of time for this offense, as we know. That Louisville game a couple of weeks ago, 31 seconds. Now, they had 3 timeouts, but Deshaun Watson went 4 for 4 on this drive, ends up putting it in the end zone. I think this was a turning point in the season, offensively anyway, for this team and for Deshaun Watson. You know, remember they had gone through the Auburn game where they scored 19. Then they score 30 against Troy, and it's a 1-score game. He finishes it off there, and there was another big drive late in that game too, in the fourth quarter.
That's Hunter Renfrow on his second catch. The amazing thing to me about that Louisville game was they turned it over 5 times. Clemson did. 5 turnovers and won the football game. That's unheard of against an outstanding team. On 2nd and short. There's the first down yardage necessary. Ray McLeod on the receiving end.
And it's the short throws. You know, that's what's smart. You know, Deshaun Watson, Tony Elliott, Jeff Scott, their co-offensive coordinators, get some momentum first in that 2-minute drill. Just get a couple of completions, get on rhythm, and get a first down, and then you can go down the field.
Good for 14 yards on that play. Here's Watson. Plenty of time to step up and complete to Jordan Leggett, his tight end.
On the flip side, you see Tony Elliott there in the middle. On the flip side, if you're just NC State defensively, you can't just sit back in a 2-minute defense, prevent defense. You got to come after him sometime.
Clemson has already spent 2 timeouts this half. Here's Watson throwing middle of the field and caught. It's Renfrow again. The hand appears to be just fine. He had to go down to the turf and scoop that one up.
Yeah, it's his 3rd catch. Such a reliable receiver. He's like that security blanket. You always know he's going to be in the right spot at the right time and catch the football.
21 on that play. Bit of a surprise. Renfrow was actually listed as out for this game, but he's obviously not making an impact. Get hurt the hand in the win over Troy early in the season. Watson throwing far side for McLeod. Clemson doing their thing here with 1:05 left here in the 2nd quarter. That one timeout.
You know, that was big right there. That ball goes to the sideline of NC State, and they get their fresh defensive line in. You go 6-7 plays on a 2-minute drill, and your defensive line gets gassed. That's part of the problem, is you can't get to the quarterback.
So America wants to know, Grease, where has this been the entire first half? Why is all of a sudden Clemson able to do this? Until now. Wow, Watson is just swallowed up by Monty Nelson.
Boy, Monty Nelson is right here. You're going to see they're going to finally bring pressure. Dave Huxtable's had enough. He said, I need to create some one-on-ones, get my defensive line. Got that fresh defensive line in there. That makes a big difference.
Watson is 5 for 5 on this drive. He's dumped there, and he's back to the air. And nearly intercepted. Should have been picked off by Sean Boone, and he knows it.
Boy, Boone, that would have been a great play. Could have made it, but even so, you bring up a 4th down, Steve. So now a decision to make for Dabo Swinney. Artavis Scott was not able to get off the jam at the line of scrimmage, and so the timing was disrupted. They're going to go for it here.
This would be roughly a 50-yard field goal attempt on 4th and 14. See the time remaining in the half. And NC State will spend a timeout. All right, Pacific Life game summary. Here's a good time to give you that summary. And the most likely reason we're in a 3-3 game right now.
Yeah, and it's been the defenses, right? Both defenses have shown up to play, but NC State in that goal line stand. Clemson went right down the field. This was after the fake punt to Christian Wilkins, and they had 4 cracks at it inside the 6-yard line, and 3 times inside the tackles as NC State did not allow them to get in the end zone. Then flip the script. They get the ball on offense. They go 90 or so yards, and then they attempt a field goal. So that's the difference in the game so far.
Dabo really giving it to Artavis Scott there. Still giving it to him. So again, get back to my question. I'm just curious. So Clemson fans want to know why weren't we able to do this the entire first half?
It's a 2-minute drill, So what happens is NC State gets in a little bit of a prevent. They give him the underneath stuff. Deshaun Watson is patient, takes his time, and they go right down the field. But it's a good decision here, right? Because right before the half, what do you have to lose? 4th down, you might get it.
4th and 14, sure. With Watson, some pressure, throwing, and has the first down. Able to hook up with Ray McLeod for just enough yardage.
I'm standing right by where McLeod was in his break, and that ball came out before he even started his break. That was a big-time throw by Watson.
16 yards on the play. Watson looking to his right, throwing that way. Again, it's McLeod. Oh, he's cracked down. You could hear the helmet on helmet there. And with 15 seconds left, another timeout. And Clemson will take their last.
These drives before halves are so important. I know sometimes people say, well, just get in the locker, take a knee. But from a timing standpoint and for a quarterback, you get your rhythm. Deshaun Watson now is in rhythm.
Here's that 4th down conversion again. Would have been a 50-yard attempt on a field goal. They're going for it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you got nothing to lose there. Even if you don't get it, it's only 30 seconds left, and you feel like you can stop them on defense. But on the flip side, great opportunity to get more points before half.
And it's really a 2-for-1 situation. Clemson gets the ball to start the second half. Deshaun is 7 of 8 on this drive in a minute 48.
And just like that, Louisville, right before half, right? You went right down the field. Sometimes, you take everything else out of the quarterback's mind other than, hey, just take what they give you, throw the ball in the flat, turn up 6 yards. Throw it over the middle, get a pass interference. Then they get a 4th down. Right now, he's dealing, and he's starting to anticipate throws, and his receivers are making plays for him.
And as you pointed out, defense all of a sudden, hands on hips a little bit, trying to catch their breath. It's hard to pass rush on every single play. Takes out a lot of energy. And much easier on the offensive lineman. Take a couple steps back. 2nd and 6 now. 15 seconds left here in the half. In a 3-3 game. Imagine tuning in, seeing this score. Really?
Well, the pressure look here from NC State, both linebackers.
End zone. Did he have it? He did. Touchdown. It's Mike Williams brought it down.
There's nothing fancy here. This is just the big guy, 6'3", 225 pounds. You go down in the end zone, turn around, and I'm going to throw it to you, and you make the play. You're bigger than him. Go up, get it. Big touchdown before the half for Clemson. It's hard to defend. What are you going to do there if you're Jack Tocho?
That's exactly what you're going to do. Nothing. Stand behind and watch. Watson was on the money that entire drive. The extra point from Hugel is good. And with 10 seconds left in the half, Clemson has a 10-3 lead. Williams, as we were told, is a difference maker, and he's made the difference here in the first half now.
Yeah, people this season for this Clemson offense, they've talked about, the Auburn game, they looked out of sorts. Against Troy, they looked out of sorts. Then they got things going against Louisville and BC the last couple of weeks, averaging just under 50 points a game. Hasn't been pretty in this first half, but this is a good defense for NC State, and that was a big touchdown.
From the progressive pylon cam, like you did it better before, I thought.
I did, I don't want to be reading all these things for you.
Good
now.
luck.
Can you step up a little bit?
Good luck there, and there's the excitement from the always energetic Dabo Swinney. So Watson leads Clemson on a 75-yard drive, 10 plays. They do it in a minute 53. Economical indeed. 13-yard touchdown pass. Caps it all off. Mike Williams on the receiving end of the touchdown. 10-3 for the third-ranked Tigers of Clemson. A little squib kick out to the 38-yard line. We'll see what NC State wants to do with one timeout in their pocket.
Well, they're not going to have a 2-minute drill. They're probably just going to take a knee. But you see, just the patience, taking what the defense gives you, throw the ball in the flat, get 6, then you come back to Renfro, over the middle. This was the 4th down. That throw was on time across the field to Ray McCall for the touchdown. Then you go to the big fella for 7.
Again, just one timeout remaining for NC State. They're not playing it safe. Finley able to get it to Jalen Samuels. 2 seconds left, and they'll take that last timeout.
It's a good thing they have that timeout, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be able to spike that football. Got to have 3 seconds to spike that ball, so maybe they can attempt a Hail Mary and the half.
Tonight on ESPN's College Football Primetime, a clash between 2 ranked SEC West teams. It's Ole Miss and Arkansas, Rebels and Razorbacks on College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton by Hilton at 7 Eastern on ESPN, and also streaming live on the ESPN app. Watch ESPN, Ole Miss and Arkansas. Kyle Bambard is the kicker for NC State. His long is from 48 yards away. There were 2 seconds left, no timeouts. I don't like his chances. He is yet to attempt a 50-yarder.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to try to throw this ball in the end zone.
Hey, while we have a second here, shout out to my mom.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday, Mom. Best mom a kid could have. Vivian Levy turning, I'm not going to give her age. I wouldn't do that.
No,
right?
no.
Would never do that. Yeah.
What'd you give Mom for her birthday?
A shout out on national television in college football. What do you mean?
Nothing. I mean, a box of chocolates and roses, nothing.
Hey, man, 24 years at the network. She still watches every Sports Center, every game.
We're going to work on it, Mom.
Big fan of yours, Greasy.
We're going to work on the
She's
present.
warming up to McShay. That's still a work in progress.
We're getting there.
Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. 3 receivers to the right. And this is McClendon in to throw it. If he can. And he can. And that's a way the first half will come to an end. Whole lot of defense and a little offense at the end. Stay tuned for Stan Barrett, Mark May, Mac Brown, and the halftime report right after these messages.
You're watching ESPN on ABC.
Welcome back to ESPN on ABC. College football presented by Walmart. Homecoming in Death Valley as we get set for third quarter action. Some of the first half stats, and I don't think we're going to get to 97 points total like these two clubs did a year ago. Look at the penalties. The Pack, they've been bad boys. Flagged 9 times for 86 yards, and Clemson has been totally clean. Good afternoon again, everybody, for just joining us. Steve Levy alongside Brian Greasy, and NC State got their 3 points on a drive that started at their own 1.
Yep.
And Clemson needed a fake punt, going for it on 4th down, and a great 2-minute drill at the end of the half to get their touchdown.
I think it's going to be a great second half. I mean, these two teams fighting for first place in the Atlantic, control their own destiny. If you thought NC State was just going to come in here and roll over in Death Valley, you were mistaken. Both defenses have been outstanding in the first half.
And no question, Dabo Swinney and his staff, everybody we spoke to on the Clemson side said of NC State, they are good enough to beat us here. And right now, we're in a touchdown game as we open up quarter number 3.
Both quarterbacks playing really well, too. I mean, obviously, Deshaun Watson got it rolling there in rhythm before the end of the half and the touchdown throw. But I've been impressed with Ryan Finley, too. Handling the environment, that was the biggest question. And he's been up to the task. 225 yards passing through the air.
There were some false start penalties, big part of those 9 penalty issues. And that's how we start the third quarter. Down to Todd McShay.
The story really, as you guys mentioned, the first half, NC State's defense, which was great on tape leading up, but you just weren't sure what they were going to do on the road against this really potent Clemson offense. They have aced the test so far. Defensive line holding up gaps, making it easy for linebackers to come in and plug. Same thing here, doing a really nice job. Linebacker Arius Moore comes firing in and makes the play. Then how about that goal line stand, guys? The defensive front, leverage up front, creating gaps for the linebackers to come in and finish off the play. Just so much intensity and fire the way this defense played, and a lot of big hits from NC State.
And we look for more of that, Todd, in the second half. And Deshaun Watson wants to talk it over. They're checking on the play clock. They'll reset that.
He said he wanted a new football, Steve. I think they may have had the NC State ball down there instead of the Clemson ball. Quarterback's very particular about the footballs.
How did you like your footballs? Underinflated or overinflated?
Just right. Come on.
Right out of the rule book. I got you. Watson is picked off! First play from scrimmage. It's Mike Stevens down the sideline. Touchdown! Watson with the football he wants throws the pick six. And we're an extra point away from a tie game.
Boy, and I wonder if that just kind of took his focus off the play call. You know, messing around with the ball, getting the right ball out there, and then he tries to throw a quick hitch on the weak side, and I don't think he ever saw Mike Stevens lurking there. Huge play for NC State. You know, Mike Stevens came down. Normally he's outside as a corner, but this time he's lined up on the outside. This is him right here. See what happens. Tries to throw. It's a roll corner. The safety goes over the top, and Deshaun thinks that he can get it by him. I'm not sure, but that's not a normal reaction from a corner. Normally they will jam him and let him go, but he came inside.
They're still looking at this. It would be a 28-yard touchdown return if it stands. You get at the top of the pylon.
Yeah, he kicked the top of that pylon.
Where's the ball?
The ball's in the right hand there.
That's close. How's our pylon cam? I'm really concerned. Brought to you by Progressive.
Well, let's see.
Well, we
almost got it.
Just lost the pylon cam. Call on the field is a touchdown.
I don't see anything there, evidence to overturn that call on the field. What do we say coming out of halftime? You know, NC State, obviously, this is a tough defense to go against the Clemson. They needed something in special teams or on defense, get that turnover.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Wording significant there. Stands. No conclusive evidence to prove, I guess, that's the right call or the wrong call.
But not only that, Steve, all the momentum was with Clemson going into halftime, getting that long drive, and then they come out and get the ball first. They could have gone up 2 touchdowns, and then it almost feels like it would have been insurmountable for NC State. Now we're in a tie ball game.
An extra point away. Bambard is on. 20 of 21 on extra points this season. And just like that, 9 seconds in to the third quarter, we're all tied at 10-all.
This place is stunned.
Should be. I think Deshaun Watson was stunned by that defense. That's something as a quarterback. Normally, you know, you see a 2-deep shell, which basically means that corner's going to roll up and the safety's going to have help over the top. And I agree they should be doing that to defend Mike Williams. But normally the corner doesn't come that far inside. And right here, watch. So this is Stevens. He's going to come so far inside that it almost looks like Deshaun Watson couldn't see him. He's looking right at him. Maybe he thought he could get it by him. I'm not sure, but that's just not a normal look and structure of a defense, and it fooled Deshaun Watson.
Marty Aronoff points out that's the first time Deshaun Watson has ever had an interception returned for a touchdown. He does not know what the pick six feels like until now. Wow.
Got a ball game.
Taking some of the air out of the, forget the football, the air out of the stadium.
People didn't even get back from the concessions. It's tied up.
On homecoming weekend, Artavis Scott had some issues there. Finally picks it up. And Scott will run out to about the 16-yard line. Scott got chewed out pretty good by Dabo Sweeney in the first half on the sideline. Nearly had some more problems with the football there.
Well, and remember, no Wayne Gallman. He's been ruled out of this game officially. The head injury. And what's going to happen now in the second half for Clemson running the football? It's going to be C.J. Fuller, Adam Choice. We haven't seen any of the true freshman Tavian Feaster, who is one of their home run backs. They've got to find some complementary players to Wayne Gallman in the second half.
A first down now. Ball carrier is C.J. Fuller. They went with a steady diet of Fuller and Adam Choice in place of Gallman in that first half.
Boy, and the physical play continues for NC State defense. By that time, Ray McLeod was coming on a fake, and he just gets leveled by Contavious Street. He's going to come right up here. You better be ready, man. You're fair game, whether you have the ball or not.
Got Fuller split out there, and it's Artavis Scott who can't hang on. Third down upcoming.
And another big hit. You wonder how the physical approach of NC State begins to affect their opponent. And it's starting to get in their head a little bit. You want to throw an inside slant? I'm not so excited to go in there and get my head knocked off.
3rd and 5. Pressure from the outside, now from the middle, and Watson's on the run. And he'll stumble forward for first down yardage out to the 30-yard line.
That's a huge play by Deshaun Watson. Not necessarily just for the first down. Settle the nerves. You got to get your composure back, and you need your leader. After you throw an interception, then you have a drop ball. Guys are getting knocked around. You need him to settle things down.
It's Fuller, the ball carrier. Pounded by Arius Moore.
There's not a lot of room to run. You give some credit to B.J. Hill, Justin Jones, Monty Nelson, Street, their senior captain, Bradley Chubb. These guys up front for NC State are tough to move.
Off the draw, Fuller stopped by Moore again. NC State came in ranked 17th in the nation in tackles for losses, 40 of them, 26 of the 40 coming from that defensive line. That speaks volumes to the big guys up front.
They play old school, and their coach is old school. Dave Huxtable been around a long time. Got these guys playing hard. Third down, another double-A gap blitz.
Watson's throwing for the first down and getting it to Deion Kane. Mike Stevens on the coverage.
Great composure here from Deshaun Watson. Sees the pressure up front. Can't block all of them. You see the late blitzer is going to come free. He doesn't panic. He knows that because there's pressure, I'm going to have a free release on the outside with my receiver, and throws an accurate ball.
See the numbers on Watson. Play fake to Choice. Watson going to throw it middle of the field down there, and no. Ray McLeod was the intended target. Jack Tocho was there step for step on the excellent coverage.
Well, this is where Clemson, their big plays, they try to get you. They get to midfield, and then they run a double move on the outside. Ray McLeod on the left side of your screen is going to try to bait Tocho. Doesn't fall for it. That's headsy play. That's one of those seniors that Dave Doran was talking about as one of their best players on the team, Jack Tocho.
Running to the left, where Justin Falcinelli just replaced Taylor Hearn at the left guard spot, and they run that way.
Pick up a 3 yards on play. It'll be 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 7. It's Dave Huxtable, and that defense doing a fine job.
It's a good-looking beard there.
He looks comfortable too, doesn't he?
They double down, play Santa around the holidays. Great guy.
Watson is so calm in the pocket. Dumped it off for Tyshawn Dye, and he does have the first down. Dye checking in, picks up the gain of 11, and this is a cool, calm drive now.
Second big third down conversion from their junior quarterback, sorry. At that time, didn't try to push the ball, force it, just get your check down, easy first down.
The 3 for 3 on third down conversion attempts this drive. Here's Renfro again. Helmet lost, the ball was hung on to.
Yeah, you better be careful here now. As soon as that helmet comes off, the first thing I would do as a quarterback is tell me, hey, Tocho's out, his replacement's in, put Mike Williams over there and throw the ball down the field.
That's Nick McLeod who's checking in, and he's a true freshman, so yeah, you'd think they want to go right for him.
There it is right here.
2nd and 5.
You better roll a safety over the top and help him.
Watson was looking that way, but now go to the middle of the field. And another first down conversion. It's Renfro again. Hunter Renfro, welcome back.
Yeah, it's nice to have Renfro back. If you're Deshaun Watson, he's such a consistent route runner. He's where he's supposed to be on routes, and he makes tough catch after tough catch over the middle.
You see that blue cast on the right hand. First down and 10. Quick feed out to Scott. They'll pick up 3. Nick McLeod, that true freshman we spoke of, they continued to go after him even after that play. He was able to force him out of bounds.
Yeah, now Tocho's coming back in. That helmet fixed. Tocho's got that left hand heavily bandaged as well.
Little love on the sideline for the true freshman. Watson has plenty of time. Throw and complete. Jordan Leggett, what a grab. I'd say that was excellent coverage too.
Yeah, Leggett was almost on the ground here. That ball comes in. He's on the ground, goes down. Nice job cradling that ball in. Clemson's going fast.
19 on the play. Here's 1st and goal. Watson will hand it off to Dye. Loose football! And did the Wolfpack get it back? They have. Unbelievable turn of events. Dravius Wright and Arius Moore knock the football loose, and then it's Wright who recovers.
The awareness of Dravius Wright on the goal line, fighting for every inch to keep the ball out of the end zone, to know that he's got him stopped, and then all of his friends come, and then the presence to strip that football out. Big play by Dravius Wright. Same guy who knocked Wayne Gallman out of the game.
3rd Clemson turnover of the afternoon. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And a bit of a surprise, the 3rd-ranked Clemson Tigers in some trouble here at home. They find themselves in a 10-10 game. And the Wolfpack have the football out at their own 5. Last time NC State started inside their own 5, came away with a field goal on an excellent drive. As flags fly, and let's see if some of that Death Valley noise forced the motion.
False start. Offense number 65. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's not Will Richardson that time.
That's the 10th
Garrett
penalty.
Bradbury.
I mean, they might think about changing some things up because it's so loud here. You know, sometimes you see those offensive linemen hold hands, and once the guard lets go, the tackle knows that the ball's being snapped, because right now nobody can hear anything.
And they're in the open end zone right now, for what that's worth, on 1st and 12. Finley's going to keep it, get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe 1 yard. Kendall Joseph out there. So what are we to say about the Clemson offense? Todd asked Dabo about that, and Todd asked about the struggling offense. We're not struggling. No. They're moving the football. Yeah. They're just turning it over in the worst spots.
3 turnovers, yeah. They got an interception and 2 fumbles, and now, you know, you start to question, that was Tyshawn Dye, who fumbled on the goal line. Who's going to step up for Clemson at the running back position and replace Wayne Gallman?
2nd and 11. Wow. Again.
False start. Offense, number 86. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
You know what's worse? With every false start penalty, the crowd gets louder. They love being a part of the game, and this time it's the tight end. You know, sometimes you might think about just going on a quick count. Take it out of the hands of the quarterback. Just get up or get under center and take the snap. You have a better chance of guys hearing you.
Thaddeus Moss was the guilty party that time. 2nd and 13. Finley in trouble. That's just dropped by Jalen Samuels.
You could argue you could have called offsides on the left tackle there. He was early. I mean, it's
maybe that's some sympathy for the offensive line here. Hey, this is part of the home field advantage.
Yeah, what's great about college football, man.
Right?
You got fans that show up and are dedicated and loud. There's no question they affect the game.
We talked to Carlos Watkins of that defense for Clemson yesterday. He said, the reason you come here for the love. Some of that love's from the coaching staff and a whole lot of love from these 82,000 people in Death Valley on homecoming weekend. Here's Finley. Able to, no, they're going to say incomplete. Van Smith had the coverage. Able to knock him out of bounds. 4th down upcoming. So the defense will hold.
Yep. You got to get Elijah Drinkwitz. You have to come up with some different ways to manage the snap count in between series right here. That's your job as a coach. You got to figure out a way, whether it's getting under center, whatever you got to do, you got to figure it out.
A.J. Cole's been one of their best players all season for the Pack, and they need another big effort out of him, and that's not the punt he wanted. Ray McLeod will let it bounce. Does take an NC State bounce. But still, Deshaun Watson and Clemson will take over in excellent field position. All tied at 10s.
College football presented by Walmart. Brought to you by Firestone. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Well, they're still jumping around here, trying to get their team fired up. The defense did its job. As for the Clemson offense, I mean, they were brilliant at the end of the first half, Grease.
Yeah, and they were great on the last drive. They got all the way down to the 1-inch line, and they just coughed up the football. Now they've got C.J. Fuller back in the game. It'll be interesting to see if it's still running back by committee with Tyshawn Dye after the fumble.
Best starting field position for Clemson today. Fuller, the ball carrier, moves forward for about 4. B.J. Hill made the stop.
You know, we were talking with Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator for NC State, and he said, you know, we have to change the math, which he meant we got to get off blocks. The whole Clemson offense is that zone read RPO where they get the numbers in their favor.
Out ahead, Fuller again.
But the defense has been dictating the math to the offense now. They're not going to sit back and say, okay, well, if you're going to run the quarterback, you know, we're not going to have enough numbers. They're shedding blocks, getting off blocks, and being physical and angry at the ball when they get there.
Held Notre Dame just 3 points, the fewest in Brian Kelly's 7 years, but again, that was in hurricane conditions. Completing the Trevion Thompson, his first catch of the afternoon. And they'll move to 6. C.J. Fuller, the ball carrier again. Not much there on the running game, especially without Wayne Gallman, as we mentioned earlier. Suffered a head injury in the first quarter. He was lost for the rest of the afternoon for sure.
Bradley Chubb has played that inside zone so well. Tony Elliott knows that. We talked with him yesterday. Chubb is an outstanding defensive end.
One of the captains of that Wolfpack defense. Mike Williams gets back into the act. And the ball comes out. Well, the question is, if Williams stepped out, Sean Boone recovered the fumble, and he's running down the sideline. Sean Boone is finally bumped out at the 27-yard line. Could this have happened again to Clemson?
I have no idea why Mike Williams had that ball out like that. He was going out of bounds. He made a great move to stay up. Sometimes you try to do too much. He catches his ball, does a great job of getting by the first defender. That ball is out. He is not out of bounds. That ball stays in bounds. What a great job by Boone. Awareness to get that football and goes down the sideline.
Niles Clark knocked it free, or at least made the tackle anyway, if you will.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, where a team is absolutely moving the ball at ease, things are going their way, and then they just cannot finish.
"66-yard return on the fumble recovery. Fourth Clemson turnover today. We've got 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Let's look at this again. That ball is out there. Question is, did he touch it while he was on top of the defender who was out of bounds? Could be what they're looking at on the replay at this moment, but that ball is definitely out right there. And he touches it while he's on top of Niles Clark with his left hand. Right there. Good job of freezing that, guys.
Right, so he's still not out of bounds even at that point officially. If it stands, the last three possessions would be interception, fumble, fumble for Clemson.
They had 5 turnovers against Louisville. And Todd was saying, I haven't seen that, right?
Yeah.
And they won that game. 4 turnovers potentially now. That's a dangerous proposition.
Here we go.
After review, ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
I mean, you want to talk about self-inflicted wounds here for Clemson. NC State's playing great, but Clemson is doing a lot of this to themselves.
Absolutely. Well, and give a lot of credit to NC State's defense, fighting for the ball. They're not just going and making a tackle. They are going and tackling the football. And Clemson has been loose with the ball. Drops in the first 2 games, 5 turnover against Louisville, and here again today, the 4th one.
This crowd hasn't left them. Still roaring their hearts out for their Tigers. Here's Finley out of the shotgun. They're going to come out throwing. And that throw just behind his intended target, Kelvin Harmon.
Well, the NC State defense has come to play today. This offense needs to muster something here. They need to match the intensity of their defense. They haven't been on the field a whole lot, right? They weren't out there at the end of the first half. And then a long drive by Clemson. They have a 3-and-out backed up inside the 5. They need to get some rhythm here with Finley and these wide receivers.
Second and 10. Hand it off to Matt Days. He's spinning away from people, and he's finally wrestled down at the 10, and then again at the 9 by Van Smith.
Great vision from Matt Days from behind here. Look at this cutback lane right there, and then getting the second level. That's Tyler Jones gets the second level linebacker on the ground and gives another 5-6 yards to Matt Days.
17 yards on that last play.
One difference now for NC State offensively is they're huddling. So they're communicating the play in the huddle rather than at the line of scrimmage.
First and goal. Days trying to find some daylight. Nothing found there. Dexter Lawrence with the stick.
And we go back to that last series. We talked about Elijah Drinkwitz having to do something, make an adjustment. Well, the adjustment is getting in the huddle so that they're not having to communicate at the line of scrimmage and think about a whole lot. You see the quarterback's going up there telling his offensive line the play. Communicate before you get up there and it gets loud. It's a good adjustment.
Finley under pressure, and he's taken down. Scott Pagano on the sack. Second of the season for Pagano.
That's got to feel good for Scott Pagano. You know, he's that junior defensive tackle. He's been kind of overshadowed as of late by the true freshman Dexter Lawrence, who's starting to get more and more playing time. But Pagano says, I still got a few moves left.
Good look at Brent Venables there, the defensive coordinator, urging his defense on. So 3rd and goal now. Finley sends Days in motion, trying to screen pass. It was tipped at the line, but Samuel's still able to catch it.
It's a good play call by Elijah Drinkwitz, but it's snuffed out by Clemson. Van Smith get his hand on a face mask there. Yeah, he got away with one. And he pulled it too. Should have been a first down penalty.
So it brings up a 4th and goal.
Stop the clock for an injury. Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes and 7 seconds, please. 5:07.
This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt for Bambard. He missed from 43 earlier, made from 28. Out of the hold of A.J. Cole, the punter. And it's blocked! Blocked by Christian Wilkins. All 6'4" of Christian Wilkins jumping into the air to block that. Bambard had never had one blocked before. He does now.
There he is right there. He made the play on the fake punt for a first down that led to a score, and now he makes another special teams play. Dabo says Christian Wilkins wants to make every single play. That was a big one.
Time now for our AT&T Inside Access. Check out the stairwell that the Clemson Tigers walk up to get to the football offices. They used to list the opponent, the logo, the date, and Dabo changed all that. Changed the logos to only the Clemson Tiger Paw to emphasize the only team that can beat Clemson is well, Clemson, and that's exactly what they're doing today.
Yep.
And actually, they're quite fortunate to be in a tie game and still have the football now. On 1st down and 10. Handoff. C.J. Fuller should have enough for the first down.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting talking to Dabo about that yesterday. He said, you know, we went to the national championship game. We went on an unbelievable journey. We learned so much about ourselves and our team. But most importantly, we don't have to wonder if we're good enough to get there anymore. We know that we're good enough, and we just can't lose to Clemson. But that's exactly what's happening here in the first 3 quarters.
Dabo seeing his quarterback run there. Deshaun Watson took a pretty good hit for a gain of 1. What I was most surprised by from Sweeney was he came out and said, our goal is not necessarily to win the national championship.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of coaches say, our goal is to win this and that. That's not what Dabo said. He said, our goal is to be the best we can be and have some fun along the way. Not sure he's enjoying it so far today. On 2nd down and 9. It's Fuller, the ball carrier again. Maybe a yard, or they send him flying back.
This run game continues to struggle. They're getting no push up front, and you wonder, first of all, can Watson become the run game? Because he really is the only guy who's had the ball that's been able to create yards. And also, if they're just going to start getting away from the run game and just put it in his hands as a quarterback throwing the ball.
He's been effective running the football, especially on 3rd down, Todd, to get some of those conversions. Here's 3rd and 6. We'll watch for that here as well. 3:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Low-scoring slugfest, Death Valley. He's passing and completing for first down yardage. Deion Kane has it.
He picks up the first down.
The secondary for NC State probably was the weakness coming in. You know they're good up front, But if you're going to blitz and play man coverage in 3rd and 5, you got to come up and play bump and run. You can't play off. That's too easy to give Deion Kane 8 yards and an easy first down.
Off the play fake. Watson throwing for Kane. He got tangled up, and there's the flag. Deion Kane tangled up with Jack Tocho. Penalty marker flies.
And Tocho was in good position.
Pass interference, defense, number 29.
When he looks back,
15-yard penalty, first down.
they get tangled up there, and that's just unfortunate for Tocho. He looks back for the football, and their legs get tangled up.
Penalties continue to plague NC State in this game. Pitch to Fuller. I'm asking during the break with our audio people, is our audio pumped up a little bit more today, or are they hitting that much harder on the field? And it's only when the Wolfpack are on defense.
There is no question this Wolfpack defense is coming up and laying some leather. That time Josh Jones, a free safety of 215 pounds, and nobody blocked him.
Adam Choice is in there. He'll be a decoy as Mike Williams able to make that catch and hang on to the football. 12 penalties so far on NC State today, and Clemson not a single time. They have not been flagged to this point. 3rd down upcoming. 3rd and really short.
This will be a telling play call here, whether they think they can make this 3rd and short running the football, whether they have to throw it.
They do hand it off. Adam Choice bangs through the line for the first down.
Adam Choice picks up the first down.
And if they want to run the football, they're probably their most reliable offensive lineman up front, number 75, Mitch Hyatt. He's very experienced, started as a true freshman last year. Really talented player, probably a better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. At that time, got enough movement.
Watson to throw. Able to hit Mike Williams.
That pocket was collapsing on Deshaun Watson. Right now he's going to a second receiver, and they just gave too much space to Mike Williams.
And there's an injured player down for the Wolfpack.
That's Chubb. He's a handful. He is 275 pounds, 6'4", and he's got enough athleticism to get around big offensive tackles, but enough power and strength to get right here. He wasn't expecting that hit from Crowder, number 55, kind of caught him off guard. Crowder goes 340 pounds. Looked like he might have caught him in the neck with a stinger or something like that.
You mentioned the 275 that Chubb weighs. He was 250, put on 25 pounds in the offseason. Of course, the last name should be recognizable to you. Brother Nick is the star running back at Georgia.
Yep. First down Tigers at the 16.
Tyron Riley replaces Bradley Chubb now. Watson hit as he throws, able to complete inside the 5. Hits Jordan Leggett now.
Leggett does a great job here of adjusting his body late and getting his hands down, plucking that football. It was not an easy catch. He's standing about 20 yards away from him. I was surprised he was able to get his hands there in time.
1st and goal.
This is where they had their troubles here inside the 5.
Watson not going to take any chances. He'll skip into the end zone. Deshaun Watson with his first rushing touchdown of the season. Clemson back on top.
Got to go through all of his special dances he has with each individual guy, you know. But you said it. You know, don't give it to anybody. Just give it to me. There were 3 NC State defenders that were in position that could have made that play, but Deshaun Watson knifed right through him.
And Greg Hugel out of the hold of Seth Ryan, Rex's kid. Hugel puts it through. And there is a flag on the play. There is a flag down at the 4-yard line. We'll check it.
Personal foul. Defense, number 57, roughing the snapper. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The point is good.
Deshaun Watson. You know about him running. This is the first time you've seen him run into the end zone all season long. 17-10, Tigers. This week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, Brandon Marshall and the Jets take on Larry Fitzgerald and the Arizona Cardinals. Jets-Cards, Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. Watch ESPN. Coverage begins 6 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's, starring Chris Berman and Susie Colbert. 17-10 here, Clemson, off that scoring drive. Deshaun Watson not taking chances with anybody else handling the football. You know what, boys? I'll take this one in myself.
Well, calm the storm, right? You need a leader at the quarterback position when things aren't going your way to kind of settle things down, and that drive was huge.
Clemson kicking off from the 50 after the penalties. We check in with Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Steve. Pitt, Virginia, 18 seconds left before the half. Kurt Benkert intercepted by Jordan Whitehead. Great catch and a heads-up run here. Takes it 59 yards for the pick six. A lot of scoring in this one. Pitt up 35-28. Right now, it's in the third. Steve, Brian Todd, back to you.
Right, Cassidy, keep us in the loop. Thank you. Of course, the offensive line has already been an issue for NC State. They've got some bigger problems. They've had, in all, 13 penalties for the Wolfpack. 6 false starts, including 4 on one Will Richardson, the right tackle. Here's first down and 10.
They've made one change now. The right guard's not tapping anymore. You see the center looking underneath.
Finley throwing, looking for Nyheim Hines, and it's too high. And on the last series for the Wolfpack, they lost their center, Joe Selfo.
Yeah, he went in the locker room. Don't know what happened, but he's back out there now at that center position. That would be big. If for some reason they lost their center with all this noise and all the communication going on, that would be a big loss.
Selfo, a graduate of South Alabama, where he made 36 consecutive starts. So while he's new to the program, able to come in certainly as an experienced center, and they need that experienced help on the offensive line. Finley throwing and completing to Kelvin Harmon.
Well, and you might ask, well, what's the big difference between the guard tap in the center or the center looking between his legs? The reason they have the guard tap is so that Selfo can keep his head up and watch the defense as it stems and make the appropriate calls. So they've abandoned that. Now Selfo's got his head looking back at the quarterback, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to make those calls. We'll see if this defensive front for Clemson can take advantage.
And you know that crowd knows that as well. They'll get loud here in the final 20 seconds of quarter number 3. Here's Finley throwing out into the flat, able to complete to Hines, and he just shrugged off that tackler at the last second for a couple extra yards.
That's a big-time play there. Accurate ball. Hines catches it, third down. The momentum has gone back in Clemson's favor. Great balance there. Hines a playmaker. You know, he makes plays in special teams. We mentioned had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown this game last year.
Final play of the third quarter. Finley's airing it out. And it looks like Harmon was out of bounds when he made the catch.
He caught that football, but Jadar Johnson gets over in time and knocks him out of bounds.
Well, I'd say it's been an eventful 3 quarters.
Can't be more penalties and turnovers than we've had.
Who knows what the fourth quarter has in store for all of us. Third-ranked Clemson at home, up by 7, going to the fourth. Welcome back to ESPN on ABC College Football, presented by Walmart. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. All right, so it hasn't been a crisp, well-played game then. Turnovers, penalties.
It's been a tough game. I mean, both defenses, really. We've talked a lot about NC State's defense and the way that they've been hitting and playing tough. But this Clemson defense yet to give up a touchdown in this game. The only touchdown scored by NC State was off an interception return. So they're playing really well.
2nd and 10 as we open up quarter number 4. Pitch to Days. Has some running room down the sideline and has the first down.
Number 21, Matthew Days, the ball carrier.
Into Clemson territory.
But what a position for NC State. You know, if you would have told Dave Doran, hey, you're going to come on the road in Death Valley with a new quarterback, and in the fourth quarter it's going to be a one-score game, and you got the ball on offense and plus territory, he would have taken that anytime.
Absolutely. Days has been the workhorse. Finley will fake it to him. Look to step up, and he'll be taken down instead. Carlos Watkins was there.
Yeah, this pressure. They bring Boulware off the edge, which creates one-on-one blocks. And Carlos Watkins, very difficult to block. Austin Bryant, you see there, coming off an injury. Got injured in training camp. First time we've seen action from him, and Brent Venables decided to bring some pressure here in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 14 upcoming. Finley throwing and completing the Jalen Samuels for the first down. The leading receiver last year, Samuels at it again.
We're finding something out about Ryan Finley. You know, you take a sack on 2nd down, you don't hang your head, you keep your eyes downfield, don't let the rush affect you. That's a perfectly thrown ball to Jalen Samuels in the middle of the field. It takes a lot of guts and know-how to throw the ball in the middle of the field. A lot of traffic.
Finley's going to throw again. Oh, he's got plenty of green in front of him, and he'll throw. And nearly intercepted. It was knocked down. Looked like he had Braylon Cherry, but he couldn't bring it in.
Got to make that play. Braylon Cherry has got to make that play. Hines has been their most reliable receiver so far, but you know, your quarterback gets out of the pocket by his time. You got to make that play.
Especially you're a senior, like Cherry is, out of New Bern, North Carolina. Can't make the grab. 2nd and 10. Hand off for Days. He's across the 30-yard line, and Smith made the stop.
Boy, Days just ran right over Van Smith. 5'9", 200 pounds. He's not the biggest back. He's got great leverage and runs his pads in front of him. Brings up a 3rd and 5 here. Huge play in this game.
Days is a guy who gets 47% of his yards after contact. There's an example there. He's up to 60 for the game now on 11 carries on 3rd and 6. Finley throwing, and it's dropped by Hines. Also right in his hands. Ryan Finley deserves a better fate.
I think I jinxed him. I jinxed Hines. I said he's been the most reliable receiver so far. And this would have been a touchdown, Steve. This play was going to tie the game. Ran a great inside slant route. There was no, you see the safety there, 18. He's way out of position. Hines would have hit his head on the goalpost.
And Finley took another hit, hung in the pocket, showed so much toughness all day long. Talk about a receiver not rewarding your quarterback for making a great play.
Gonna go.
I like this.
4th and 6. See if his teammates will make a play for the quarterback.
I'll find Jalen Samuels.
Finley throwing. And a couple of, they got tangled up. They were going for Samuels, as you suggested, Grease, and he got tangled up. And the flag flies. Tangled up with Kevon Wallace.
Pass interference. Defense number 12. First down, spot of the foul.
And that's the first penalty of the day on Clemson.
The first penalty is a huge one, Steve, and it's a true freshman. Just that's experience. You know, you don't want to run through the wide receiver. You don't need to make this interception right here. It's a 4th down. Just knock the football down and be aware of your body and don't hit the wide receiver. That's just, when you play young players, sometimes that happens.
Fresh set of downs for Finley and NC State. Running up the middle. Finley trying to make a move. How about that move, and dives forward for the first down. Got a little running back in him, too.
He's been watching Deshaun do this all game. Not known for his escapability, but we said, you know, 7 or 8 of these plays he needs to make for them to pull this upset. That was a big one. That wasn't a linebacker. That was Van Smith, who's a darn good tackler. He just juked out.
Little shake and bake.
This guy's a little gamer. You know, he's gone through a lot to get to where he is. And had to earn the starting job. It was not easy. It was a close battle. You see, he's got a lot of fight.
Well, Tom, we were talking to him last night, man. It came across the quiet confidence. He was not going to be scared.
They go empty. Finley out of the gun, throwing. Tried a little pick and roll play to Stephon Lewis, but Clemson wasn't falling for that trick.
Well, this is the second time Ryan Carter has made this kind of a break. There he is right here. He almost got an interception earlier. Look at him. He just reads that route. As soon as he sees that receiver, he's breaking, which means Elijah Drinkwitz, it's time for the little bubble and go.
That was a little Stockton to Malone thing there, had working there. And they had Days split out to the far side. They're on 2nd and 10. Here's Days, the ball carrier, running. And he had to get to the 3-yard line to get the first down. I think he does.
Boy, Clemson, their defensive front, they weren't set. They were standing up when they snapped that football. And that allowed NC State offensive line to get up underneath their pass.
It's been an impressive drive from this offensive line that's had some ups and downs today.
11 more yards there from Matt Days. 1st and goal. Wolfpack trying to tie this game up. It's Days again. Did he break the plane? He did. Touchdown. Wolfpack. Extra point away from tying the game.
What a tough drive there by the Wolfpack. Kind of resemble their head coach. You know, up front, put it on their backs. You got a gamer at quarterback, and this back, Matt Days, just refuses to go down, gets that ball in the end zone.
14 plays, 75 yards after Clemson scores. NC State comes right back.
They're going to take a look at this again, but man, this NC State team is impressive. I mean, we kind of had a thought that they would come in and they would play tough, but you didn't know. You know, they had 1 week early in the season where they were flat and they lost to East Carolina. They came back and they beat a pretty good Wake Forest team, and then who knows at the game against Notre Dame with that rain. But we were going to find something out about NC State today, and I think what you understand and realize, this is a tough football team.
It's a whole lot of them down on that field. Question is, where's the football at that point?
I think this is our best look. That ball goes over the goal line there.
Call on the field was a touchdown.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
I think that's the right call. His knee was on top of the arm of the defender, so it wasn't about that. It was really just that left elbow. And big extra point here, partner. We already had 1 block field goal by Christian Wilkins in this game.
You know, they've been reaching for the sky here. Kyle Bambard able to boot it through. We were here at the stadium a couple days ago, and it was this quiet then. Homecoming, tied at 17. Tomorrow morning on ESPN, get your NFL Sunday started off on the right foot. First at 10 a.m. Eastern. Catch NFL Insider's Sunday edition for all the latest injury reports, fantasy updates, and early breaking news. Then at 11 a.m., Sunday NFL Countdown crew of Chris Berman and Wendy Nix, Trent Dilfer, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, Randy Moss. We'll take it right up to kickoff.
Going to Arizona this week, huh?
Yes. See the Cardinals and the Jets. Ryan Finley, probably a big Cardinals fan.
Yeah, from Phoenix, born and raised.
Said the only difference between North Carolina and Arizona is the humidity. Oh, really?
Especially last week.
Yeah. Artavis Scott on the return. Out to the 28-yard line. Take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
I love it when our production crew gets creative with these things. The good hands on defense this time. NC State's defense forcing turnovers. Interception return by Stevens. Travius White been outstanding all game, coming up and making these physical tackles. 4 turnovers for the Clemson offense. Now in a tie game in the fourth quarter, their quarterback led an impressive drive last time out. What do they got for us this time?
When we last saw Deshaun Watson, he was completing 12 consecutive passes. That was the 12th when Niles Clark came up on Fuller and made the big thump.
He's been the calm in the storm here in the second half. You know, outside of that first play of the second half where he throws the interception for a touchdown, he's been rock solid.
Delayed handoff to Fuller. Oh, there's nothing there. Right in the teeth of that Wolfpack defense.
Nothing. They can't run the football.
Justin Jones in the middle, among others.
Dave Huxtable's done a great job. And you know what's been impressive is even with the tempo of Clemson's offense, this defense doesn't seem to be getting tired here in the fourth quarter.
Huxtable was on, and he said the key for them will be don't allow big plays. And of course, as we started the show, that's all Clemson does is big offensive plays. Not today, not really. 3rd and 16. Big spot in the game. Watson has plenty of time to throw and find Mike Williams. Out to midfield. If he wasn't tripped up, he could have been gone.
Dave Huxtable decided to rush 3 guys, and he gave Deshaun Watson too much time. Watch him throw this ball on rhythm. Right out of the break, that ball is on Mike Williams. One of the more impressive things about Deshaun Watson over the last 2 years, he's improved in his timing and his anticipation of throws.
30 yards on that pitch and catch. Here's Williams on the screen. Another first down. Williams has to be thinking about that turnover from earlier. The casual fumble, if you will, and has to know he has to make up for that. You see the numbers on the day. 10 catches, 136 yards.
And one of the best compliments you can give a quarterback is they play big in crunch time, right? And that's Deshaun Watson. 2 weeks ago against Louisville, they had to have it in the fourth quarter, and he came through for them. They need him now, and he's coming through.
Watson with all kind of time. Now he'll run and roll out and throw. And a little too high. Could not hook up with Deion Kane. Should have hooked up with Deion Kane.
That was close.
Had been connected on his previous 14 pass plays. Had Watson. 2nd and 10.
They're going to take a look at this last play.
Good idea.
Running on the field, incomplete pass. That play is under review.
Keep going back to that Louisville game. That was the game Clemson had 5 turnovers and won. They had 4 turnovers so far in this game here today.
See the right toe. I mean, there's some turf coming up there. And then the right toe comes back down. I think that's a catch, Steve.
The official's staring right at it.
He is.
He's in great position.
Again, there was some turf coming up from that other look. Made it look like that right foot was in.
There you go. Yeah, tough to tell from that angle.
Watch the right toe. Sorry, the left foot first, and then the right toe. Right there. It's a good, great look there.
Good job.
But you're right. That official was right there, right on it. We're standing right here next to our official replay booth. They're shaking their heads over there. That's a close one.
You know what else they're saying? They're saying, I wonder what Greasy's saying in the booth next door. Hope he's not killing us.
Well, if that's what they're thinking, then by the letter of the law, the ruling on the field would stand because there's not conclusive evidence to overturn it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, and that's the right call based on how that rule is how the official replay system works in college football.
And by the replay,
telling them we agree over here.
Right. And
he covered his eyes like this.
Hope he knows he was on camera for that too. Say hi to Mom and Dad. Send money. By replay, we haven't had anything overturned today, as the bright sunshine has really come out now, lighting up the field. That's Mike Williams again on the receiving end. Beautiful day. It'll get into the high 70s in a tie game with 9 minutes to play. Homecoming weekend at Clemson, South Carolina. Mike Williams, 11 catches now. Career high for him. Hunter Renfrow on the receiving end. Nice grab there.
That's a big play by Hunter Renfrow. With that hand in a cast, reach out and make that play big time.
A lot of short throws. Just waiting for an up and out or some kind of double move from these receivers.
Well, keep going to Mike Williams. I mean, he's your best down the field threat. He's caught 11 balls in this game. Keep feeding him.
Watson looked like he wanted to take the drop back and felt the pressure. And he's going to be taken down from behind. Darian Roseborough. And Watson didn't feel that pressure or thought he could beat him in a race.
Well, he wasn't expecting the end of line of scrimmage to be free. This leads me to believe it was a bust in protection here, because normally you don't let a defensive end like that just come free. Watson did a nice job of at least escaping him and not losing too much yardage.
Second down after the loss. Watson will throw. And complete to Renfrow. Makes a move. Flag flies as Renfrow is very close to the first down. We'll check the marker.
Holding. Offense number 16. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's on Leggett. Just the second penalty against Clemson all afternoon.
He's right here. Well, I don't know about that. Just reacting, it kind of looked worse than it actually was. He wasn't even in position to hold him. Just fell on top of him.
That wipes out the play. Second and 22. Fake to Fuller. Watson flushed from the pocket. And Watson will go out of bounds now. And there is a penalty again at midfield. Looks like another holding call.
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's Jake from Morgan. First time starting this year. Said he played the worst game of his life last week against BC. He got beat a number of times. He's been solid in this game because this defensive front is arguably better than Boston College, but holding call backs them up further. Now second in a cab ride.
Wait, Drew Morgan said it was the worst game he's ever played, or that was what Dabo said about him?
He probably concurred.
Wow. They went after the right tackle, but said he'd bounce back after a tough game. It's second and 32. Check the wristband. Watson throwing. Incomplete. No! Renfrow couldn't hang on. And you have to think the cast played a role there. Would have been a spectacular grab.
He went down hard. I don't blame Sean Watson. Keep throwing it to him when his head came down and hit the field.
Niles Clark on the coverage.
When the side of your helmet hits the ground, it's a scary deal.
We'll check on Renfrow, and we'll be back. Tied at 17.
College football presented by Walmart. Save money, live better. And in part by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Back at Clemson, tied at 17 all, getting late here in the fourth quarter. Hunter Renfrow, they just get him back. Now it looks like they've lost him again, at least for the time being. 6 catches, 53 yards, so reliable, so solid, Hunter Renfrow, and that's a security blanket that Deshaun Watson won't have the rest of the way we think. Here's Watson trying to get out of there, and as he was hit, he was able to throw. Intended for Jordan Leggett. Watson will get up a bit slowly.
That drive stalls because of the penalties. They just went backwards with the holding call, back-to-back holding calls. And that was the same area of the game where they have the big drive to come against Louisville to go up in the game, and they're unable to get it done in this game, and now gives NC State a golden opportunity on offense.
They did a fake punt once, and this time Andy Teasdall will get it away. It's a short punt, and I mean a short punt.
Wow.
So NC State with 6:39 to go. They'll have the football with a chance to take the lead. Tonight on ABC's Saturday Night Football, Heisman hopeful J.T. Barrett and number 2 Ohio State face a tough test against number 8 Wisconsin in a matchup of a couple of Big Ten teams with playoff aspirations. Buckeyes and Badgers, Saturday Night Football, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Camp Randall's going to be raucous. You know that.
Oh, that's so much fun there.
Kind of like it is here. Loud, helping that defense. J.T. Barrett's going to have his hands full.
After an 18-yard punt, here's Ryan Finley at NC State. Handoff to Matt Days. He's been doing it all afternoon, but nothing doing there. Carlos Watkins got him.
This time in the game where you need playmakers to make their plays. And the best playmaker that NC State has on offense is Jalen Samuels. He's not in the game.
Loss of 1 on the play. Finley fakes the pitch and he'll keep it himself. Cleveland Ferrell made the stop. Bring up a 3rd down.
Picks up 5 yards on the play.
Here comes Samuels back in the game now. He's been Mr. 3rd down. They targeted him the last big 3rd down. They got the pass interference call. I wouldn't be surprised if Elijah Drinkwitz goes back at him.
Getting loud in Death Valley. And there is the flag. Stephon Lewis was the intended target. And it looks like Cordray Tankersley will be flagged.
Holding. Defense, number 12. It's a 10-yard penalty. Carries a 1st down.
No, you notice he didn't say pass interference. He said holding. So it doesn't matter whether the ball was in the air or not. They get Cordray Tankersley with the hold.
And Finley saw that right away, right off the line of scrimmage. Tankersley was right up in the receiver's grill, grabbing and pulling at him. And that's what Tankersley does. He's a press man corner, but he saw he was getting too physical and figured he'd throw it that way and get a foul, and he did.
It's as if NC State had the flu bug with all those penalties, and now Clemson has caught the flu. Clemson, no penalties the first 3 quarters, 4 here in the 4th. On 1st and 10, Finley to Lewis. Out just across midfield as we send it back to Cassidy Hubbard.
And Steve, I got quite an outcome in the SEC on 4th and 1 at the Vandy 41. Georgia down 1 with a minute left, and Isaiah McKenzie stopped. What a big play by Zach Cunningham, and the Commodores get the win between the hedges. Georgia falls to 2 and 3 in the SEC, guys.
Did you have Vandy winning that game?
Well, it's only a matter of time before Derek Mason gets somebody, right? I mean, great coach.
Here come the Wolfpack. 1st down, yardage from Matt Days, who continues to pound the football. Days came in rushing 5.7 yards per attempt. He's just beneath that this afternoon.
Much like Derek Mason gets an upset victory at the Vandy, Dave Doran trying to do the same thing here. This NC State team has not been respected in the ACC. He's looking for that signature win. He doesn't have it yet. I think this qualifies.
Handoff. Days again, hard running to the 40. 4:20 to go here in the fourth. Clemson, ranked third in the nation, on the ropes. You see what's on the line. 12 straight in the conference, 19 straight at home, 21 straight regular season wins. Got to think, a loss at home to NC State, they'd have to kiss that top 5 ranking
Well,
goodbye.
that's I guarantee you, Dabo Swinney cares nothing about all those records. He cares about this season and where this team could potentially go, because he knows he's got the talent to go all the way.
It's Days. To about the 38-yard
Number
line.
21, Matthew Days, the ball
Bring up a
carrier.
third down.
You see now NC State, the ability to run the football, even just a little bit. They're not blowing guys off the ball, 111 yards so far. But when you get in the fourth quarter, you need to have a running game if you want to win on the road.
Obviously a huge play to convert, get an opportunity to score, but also to chew some of this time up. We've seen the 2-minute drill from Deshaun Watson the last couple times. He's a magician in that area.
You see what they need, about 6 yards or so to get to their target line and put them in field goal range. Finley has tons of time, and with that catch, they should be in field goal range. Who else but Days on the receiving end?
Wow, great patience by Finley. Doesn't panic. He's just going to leak out. Nobody to block. His first receiver was not open because Boulware was right underneath him. Great job of not throwing it. And then finding your check down. As a quarterback, you got to know where everybody is in the route. That play not only gave you a fresh set of downs, but as Todd mentioned, now you can bleed this clock all the way down and attempt a field goal at the end.
He actually sat down in the zone. That's not just an expression. Actually sat down.
And up to 21, Matthew Days.
Days again. Has anyone else carried the football? Days has every carry. Reggie Gillespie had one, I believe. And Finley, of course, the quarterback, is also carried. But in terms of running backs, it's been all Matt Days.
Well, honestly, I'm surprised right now that Dabo Swinney's not using some of his timeouts. You can't let this clock run all the way down. They have all 3 timeouts left.
Hey, Dabo respected this team, this NC State team. No way he expected to be in this position.
NC State's going to have to call a timeout now as this clock is running down.
And there it is. Interesting clock management down the stretch of a tie game. 17 all, the fourth. Come on back. Take a moment to look at this week's Associated Press college football rankings brought to you by AT&T. How's that little 3 next to Clemson looking right now?
It's looking shaky.
Looking like a 6? Like a 7? Let's see. Still to be determined.
You knew there were going to be games like this. You're going to have hard-fought games. You've got to find a way to win. NC State did it a week ago against Notre Dame. Can Clemson do it today?
Minute 58 left here in the fourth quarter, tied at 17. Keep it on the ground at Days. Days has the first down and taking people with him. And Clemson will take their first time out.
Wow. That's a big hole right there. I mean, Clemson had to know that NC State's going to try to run the football, and for there to be that big a hole in between the tackles, you know, start to give some credit to this offensive line for NC State. Coming off, Bradbury gets the block on Boulware, and first person to the tackle is the safety, Van Smith. Brings up a first down. That's huge. Now expect Clemson to use their timeouts, obviously, to save some time, but now NC State's going to be able to bleed more clock because of the first down.
Right now would be a 39-yard field goal attempt for Kyle Bambart. Bambart's had everything happen to him. He missed from 43.
This is the one blocked by Christian Wilkins.
Had a 37-yard field goal attempt blocked. How come we don't show the made field goal from 28? That feels wrong.
Set up the drama.
All right. First and 10. Giving it to Days again. He's 4 yards shy of 100 rushing on the afternoon. They sure do. Hand it to Days.
And up to 21.
Picks up, let's say, 3. And the clock will tick.
3 yards on the play.
Looks like Dabo's going to save his timeouts for after second and third down. So you're NC State, you want to bleed this clock all the way down before you run this next play.
Days has been the story of the offense here in this fourth quarter. 56 rushing yards. He had 43 rushing yards in the first 3 quarters. And killing clock here. They snap it with 4 on the play clock. Pitch it to Days. Makes the cut. Stays in bounds, and he's shy of the first down. Clemson will take their second timeout. 65 seconds left. Regulation time here in the fourth. A quick reminder tonight on ESPN's College Football Primetime. A couple of ranked SEC West clubs will go at it. Number 12 Ole Miss, number 22 Arkansas. You get the idea. Here there's 65 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We are tied at 17 all. NC State and third-ranked Clemson. This is a 3rd and 1. Tigers have just 1 timeout left. It's Days. Looks like he had the first down on the initial contact. They're going to stop the clock.
He had to get
see if they're going to measure.
Yeah, he had to get to the 12-yard line. I don't know that he got it. And this is a big measurement, because if they get this first down, then NC State's mindset completely changes to now let's go win this on offense, because we've been running the ball in this drive at will.
You saw the yellow first down marker. That is unofficial. Because based on that, looked like he had the first down, and he does.
Now the clock is out. It doesn't factor in at all. Now it's all about NC State. I don't want to put this in the hands of the kicker. We want to go win it on offense with our best player, Matt Days. And they can use their timeouts now, because they have 2 timeouts left.
And when they do run and get it down there, make sure you've got the ball in a good spot for your kicker, too. That's what they did there, and make sure they get the ball right in the middle.
Right.
Days has carried 5 consecutive plays. Want to take a shot in the end zone?
You got to protect the football.
Look to throw. Finley in some trouble. Now he'll just dive back to try to get back into the better field position. That could have been disastrous.
That's why you don't throw the football in that situation. And you can see Finley thinking, he's like, oh no, I can't take a sack because it takes us out of field goal, but I'm in the pocket, so I can't throw it away because I would hit intentional grounding. So that's why he just dove up into the middle of the field. But run the football. You got down here, run the football with Days. Run it.
Lost 4 on that play.
Dave Doran, he's been looking for this signature win. He's 0-6 against Clemson and FSU in his career at NC State, 1-2 against North Carolina. He's 0-2 against East Carolina. He needs this kind of a win to continue to build this NC State program around. He did it today with defense. Now he's going to give his kicker a hug and say, hey, buddy, through the uprights.
Kyle Bambard, the sophomore from Michigan. Here's your Pacific Life game summary. There's been plenty to chew on here today.
Well, and it's the turnovers for Clemson. We have 5 of them, and they got away with it against Louisville. 4 again today, and if this ball goes through the uprights, they will pay for it. And it wasted a great effort potentially by this Clemson defense, if so.
NC State has not beaten a top 3 team on the road dating back to 1967.
Remember Christian Wilkins. Block already in this game.
Tyler Griffith will snap it. A.J. Cole is the holder. Kyle Bambard for 33 yards away.
Gabo saved 1 timeout.
Timeout.
And I like that, by the way. I like kicking through it.
3rd.
Yep.
Final charge timeout.
Yep, absolutely. And give the snapper some credit for snapping it, you know?
Again, the snapper, Tyler Griffiths. The holder is the punter, A.J. Cole. So Bambart's had the eventful afternoon already. Hit from 28, missed from 43, and had a 37-yarder blocked.
And he kicked all of last year and got beat out by Connor Haskins. And Connor Haskins started this year kicking. He missed 2, and so they gave the job back to Bambart and had to kick through the hurricane last week, but he was 1 of 2 in that game, and much better conditions here, but certainly a lot more pressure.
Here we go. Kyle Bambart from 33 to knock off number 33.
Nope.
No good. Missed it.
I go back to that play call, throw the football on first down. You had a first down, you had timeouts. You've been running the football with Matt Days to get down there, and you try to get cute, and you lose yardage and take it completely out of the equation. You want to win it on offense.
But what that tells me is maybe they didn't have full confidence in their kicker. Already missed one earlier, had one blocked earlier. Yep. They want to try to win the football game on offense in the end zone. A touchdown, not a field goal.
Now you got to reset for Dave Doran. Both guys got to reset and get your mentality right for overtime.
Dabo's thinking, I've done something right. I've done something right. Homecoming hasn't been spoiled. Not yet. College football overtime is in your immediate future. Back at Clemson. Overtime is my middle name, Greasy. Here we go. Let's play some college football overtime. NC State and Clemson, and this is a great sight. Out of uniform. You saw him for a second there. Wayne Gallman suffering what was reported to be a head injury, and that's him in the orange, out of uniform.
Yeah, he's a captain.
Star tailback.
Great to see him back out on the field. And
Okay, gentlemen, congratulations on a good regulation. Welcome to overtime. North Carolina State, you'll have the call. What are you going to call? You're calling heads. The Clemson logo is heads. That side is tails. I'll let it hit the ground. You called heads? It is heads. North Carolina State, you want to go on defense first. Clemson, which end of the field are we playing on? Okay. North Carolina State, you're back this way. Clemson will have the ball. 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line. Good luck to you, man.
Actually, that was beautiful from Jeff Flanagan. Congratulations on a great regulation. Welcome to overtime.
I think the crowd was fired up because the student section is going to get the action right in front of them. They didn't care whether they got the ball first or not.
Here are the overtime rules. Turn off the game clock. That does not matter. Throw it away. And things get tricky when you get into the third overtime where you have to go for 2. Can't kick the extra point. Are you a fan of college football overtime the way it is set up?
Are you kidding? It's the best.
I agree. A lot of people are down on it, though.
No. I will say this. The advantage is to the team that can run the football better because the windows to throw in the red zone are so much smaller, and that means Clemson, they've struggled to run the ball.
Starting at the 25. And we start with a flag.
Everybody went but Jake Guillermo.
Ball start. Offensive line. 5 yards. Still first down.
And everybody goes. That means the center didn't snap the ball, wasn't on the same page. Now you got to throw the football if you're Dabo Swinney and Clemson offensively. Go back to Mike Williams. You know, I mean, he doesn't need to be open to throw him the ball. He just needs to have position, and he's matched up one-on-one with Tocho.
We'll watch for that now. After the flag, 1st and 15. It's Watson going to keep it on the ground. And they'll get back about 3 yards that they lost in the penalty. Second and long time.
I wouldn't take the ball out of Watson's hands one time in overtime. This guy's clutch. He plays his best in clutch situations. If you're going to run it with him. If you're going to throw, let him be in control of it and make his own decisions.
Watson's throwing and completing to Artavis Scott. Bring up about a 3rd and 5.
Mentioned Travius White. He has made play after play in this game, responsible for 2 turnovers. That time with a big tackle to get Scott on the ground and at least give his defense a chance to get off the field on 3rd down. And he's coming out.
Looking at that hand. Here's 3rd and 5. Showing pressure and bringing some of it. Watson completes to Mike Williams. See where they spot it.
Boy, it looked like he got across the 15-yard line, but the head linesman over there is not giving him the 15-yard line.
Very close.
Wow.
They're saying 4th down.
It looked like he got across that 15-yard line. Regardless, they're going to go for it, which we know they've struggled to run the football.
Ruling on the field that the runner was short of the line of gain. That play is under review.
We've had a lot of reviews today. Not one has been overturned.
Yep. You got to look at that one. That's too big a play.
No question.
The 1st down marker is, I don't know, that ball, his elbow came down. And it's going to be very easy to spot this ball because you can see where the football is and he's down. That elbow comes down. That looks like a much better call than I thought. That head linesman was right on it. I thought they spotted the ball perfectly, just short of the 15-yard line.
That football has to touch the 15.
Surprised they didn't measure it, though. Boy. Talk about the importance of short yardage and being able to run the ball. If it is indeed short in 4th and 1, that's a gamble for Dabo Swinney to go for it here because they just have not been able to consistently run the ball since Gallman went out between the tackles.
Whether he got the 1st down or not, that is a Deshaun Watson career high 37th completion.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
I agree with that. What are you going to do here, partner? You going to kick it or go for it?
I think I would kick it.
They're bringing in some beef here. They're bringing in Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins. Both of those defensive tackles. They're going to go for it.
And I wonder if it's Watson who carries the football himself.
That might be your best bet, is sneak it with Watson.
Well, Tom Brady here. Watson's under center. Gonna hand it off. C.J. Fuller has enough. 1st down, Clemson.
And not surprised they run right behind Mitch Hyatt. He got a great block on the linebacker. Wilkins and Lawrence were just in there for, they didn't block anybody, about eye candy, but they get a big conversion.
Of course, the risk there, if you go for it and don't get it, then NC State, all they have to do is kick a field goal.
Yep.
Although kicking a field goal has been a bit of an issue, as we've seen for the Wolfpack today. It's Fuller losing yards on the play. B.J. Hill came up, put a big hit on him.
Boy, Justin Jones also in on that. You got to give these guys credit, man. They give up a 4th and 1. They come back stout right after the fact. If Clemson's going to get this ball in the end zone, they're going to need to get it on the perimeter or throw it to Mike Williams on the outside. It's one-on-one coverage.
Watson to throw. And able to complete down to the 2. It's Jordan Leggett. Maybe the 1.
Wow, Leggett hasn't had a whole lot of targets in this game. And a tough catch because the safety, Josh Jones, was right there with him. That's Jarius Moorhead, excuse me. Great job by Leggett to come down with that football.
Now it's 1st and goal from the 1. Leggett's 5th catch of this now extended afternoon.
This is where Deshaun Watson scored.
Problems with the snap there, and Watson very fortunate to recover that. Could have been disastrous.
Wow. Just went right through his hands. He took his eye off of it for a split second to give the ball to Choice, but not only that, Steve, now they're in a difficult situation, 2nd and goal from the 10 as opposed to 1st and goal from the 1.
And they showed earlier they can get under center and be effective. I'm surprised they didn't take a few shots just running the football.
Watson throwing and completing. Touchdown! Artavis Scott gives Clemson the lead in overtime. And that should stand.
Deshaun Watson just doesn't get flustered. He fumbles the ball on the previous play. He doesn't fret, comes back, throws a strike to Artavis Scott right behind the linebacker.
Clean catch.
Great catch. Go down. In that situation, with all this on the line, Artavis Scott goes down and makes the sure-handed grab.
Here's Greg Hugel for the extra point. Clemson leads 24-17. All right, NC State, what do you have? The Wolfpack, they had the game exactly where they wanted it with 2 seconds left.
They did it. Kyle Bambard made the one that Dabo called the timeout on. Comes back and Dabo's rewarded for freezing the kicker with a missed kick. And the thing that's got to feel best for Dabo Swinney now is his best unit today has been his defense. And now they're on the field with a chance to win the game. Either way, it's been a great game. And Finley's played tremendous. Deshaun Watson has continued to overcome all of the turnovers, but now Ryan Finley, we asked for an opportunity to go on the road and beat the #3 team in the country. Got to perform now.
Finley throwing for the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Marcus Edmond, and that will end the ball game.
And it's Marcus Edmond, the same guy that makes the play against Louisville on the 4th down at the end of game to win it. Comes up big again for Clemson defensively with the interception.
Clemson survives and advances. They remain perfect on the season, although this one had more than its fair share of blemishes for the Tigers. They'll enjoy homecoming weekend here in Clemson, South Carolina now.
These cats definitely have more than one life, right? They come out with 5 turnovers against Louisville, find a way to win. 4 more turnovers in this game against a very good Wolfpack team, and yet again, they find a way to win.
So impressed with everything about North Carolina State today. Not just their defense, but that offense as well. Down to Todd McShay.
Which I don't know if you can hear me, but take us through the final sequence of plays. They missed the field goal, then go into overtime. Just a day at the office, man. Just a quiet, nonchalant day at the office. Unbelievable. First of all, hats off to NC State. They did a great job. You know, we turned the ball over all day. We certainly made enough mistakes to lose the game, but you just keep fighting. And I tell you what, great job getting the 4th and 1. Unbelievable job by Deshaun and Artavis. Our guys just continue to overcome the adversity of the game. But Marcus Edmond, 2 biggest plays of the year from a 4th-year junior who hadn't played a whole lot. It doesn't get any better than that. Just awesome. How about your quarterback? He just keeps delivering in clutch situations. Yes, he's a winner. He's a winner. And the one thing you want in a quarterback is a guy that knows how to win, and that's the epitome of number 4. What's this mean win for you guys for fans? What's that? What's this win mean for you guys? Well, it means we've won 20 in a row at home, and it means we're 7-0, and it means we're still in the hunt. We got a chance to win 12, but you can't win 12 till you win 8. We need an open day. Lord have mercy, we got to learn how to hold on to the football, but just keeps us on track for our big goals.
Congratulations, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Just another day at the office, huh? What an office.
Let's take a look at that last final play by Marcus Edmond. I don't mind the play call from Elijah Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for NC State. The throw was a little bit short by Ryan Finley, and it gave Marcus Edmond a chance to catch up. Initially, Braylon Cherry's going to beat Edmond off the line of scrimmage and has an opportunity, but Edmond was in great shape, didn't panic. The ball's thrown a little bit behind, but you still got to make the play. And Marcus Edmond, he doesn't play every snap. He's not a starter, but the role players for Clemson defensively came up big all game long. You have 4 turnovers on offense, and each time that defense made a statement. That signature win for Dave Doran out the window.
Dabo Swinney said they need that off week. They've got the bye, then they go to Florida State. But they do remain perfect on the season and continue to control their own destiny. The third-ranked Tigers do. Coming up next on ABC College Football Action, Nebraska battles Indiana, where some of you will see North Carolina take on Miami. Both games available nationally on ABC or ESPN2. Check your local listings. It's Clemson by a touchdown in overtime. Thanks for joining us. So long from Clemson. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.